Welcome back to Bad Movies Rule, the worst movie podcast ever recorded. And today we're going to take off our pants and fly some planes. It's Green Lantern Day. Let's go. If this is your first time, we love discussing movies that some have deemed to be bad. Either the critics have said it's bad or the people have said that it's bad, and sometimes it's both. And so although this is primarily a movie roast, we are genuinely trying to figure out if these movies are actually bad or not. And even the ones it turns out we like, we roast them all the same. It's equal treatment around here. So come on in, let's have some fun. And today on the chopping block, we've got Green Lantern. And not only that, 1, 2, 3. All 3 Ryans are in the house tonight.
This is the first time.
This is the first time ever.
First time.
The Tribunal is here.
It has convened finally.
Yes. To discuss a Ryan Reynolds movie.
Right.
Wow,
This is perfect.
may have been on purpose.
Wait a minute. You planned that?
Of course.
I think I did see some fissures and steam coming out of those fissures kind of surrounding that hobby shop next door. So we might be having a little effect here.
I was worried that, things might, I don't know, open up a portal into another dimension or something. Get this many Ryans in one place.
Well,
at least I'm here dividing and you guys aren't all 3 in a row.
right. That might have been
It could have been
really
too much.
bad.
That would have been bad.
Been too much.
Plate tectonics would have had nothing on us.
And at least there's only one Ryan in the movie, and I'm not Ryan, so hopefully that's enough to just
What's your middle name, Ryan?
No, it's not.
well.
It starts with an R, though.
Well, hey, there we go.
Yeah.
So what's up, Ryan? It's I see it all day. It's going to be doing this. Ryan, which one am I talking to?
Hey, Ryan.
Farrell.
Yeah. Ryan, how are you?
Farrell, it's been a hot minute since you've been in the
Has
booth.
it?
I think it has.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
How you doing, man?
Wonderful. This
Yeah?
is great. This is my first time in the new studio.
I know. This is
Yeah.
only our second episode ever in here.
And this
so-
is just. I was walking up the stairs, James, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell me.
The smell was perfect.
Thank you.
The ambiance that I got on the staircase was great. And now we're here in our own recording studio.
We are. And I'm not, it's not a lie to say we've worked hard on the smell.
We have.
No, that is not a lie.
Because there is something was going on in here the first couple of weeks we're getting things ready. It reeked in here, and we had to get to the bottom of it. It took a while, but it's all been solved. No worries.
No worries at all.
Brian Mueller and Ryan Maddle are both in the house. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right.
I know we're both.
Been a while, too. I think Batman and Robin. So.
That's right. We're both wearing our Packer gear today.
Yeah, we are. Well,
That turned out great, by
at
the
this
way.
point, it's more of like Green Lantern gear at this point. I mean, it's
Yeah, it was not a good day today. But then, you know what? That's all right. There's going to be some Sundays like that.
hopefully not too many more.
How was your Sunday today, sir?
It was great. My wife's starting to get her new shop put together, so she's been working like a dog on that. So
Opening up a new business in Burlington. You can tell by the fact that we're Packer fans. We're live in Wisconsin, folks. Well, that's awesome, man. When does she open? A couple weeks?
mid-November, yeah.
All right, so right around the time this episode's going to be coming out then.
Oh, sweet.
So congratulations on her new opening.
Congratulations.
Yay!
So proud of you.
Awesome. Well, hey, let's get the vitals for this movie out of the way and we can just jump right in. We're talking, as I said before, about the infamous 2011 movie Green Lantern. Movie was directed by a perfectly competent director.
And I mean, realistically, a great director?
Yeah, I guess it's underpraising him to say competent. He's a good director.
Yeah.
Martin Campbell directed this movie, who directed GoldenEye. He reinvented Bond twice and
Literally
Casino Royale.
reinvented Bond twice, made 2 of it, like the top 10 James Bond movies of all time.
Yep.
Casino Royale being my personal number 1
There you
Bond movie.
Okay.
And GoldenEye is mine.
Oh, wow.
So,
And
you know, there we
GoldenEye
go.
being in my top 5 of Bond movies.
And he also reinvented Zorro.
Yeah.
Because Mask,
did that
I don't know
one
if you guys
as
ever
well?
saw
That's right.
Mask of Zorro.
Directed
It was
Mask
him,
of
too.
Zorro.
I was the perfect age when that came out.
The perfect age for Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
No, this is one of those things where I remember hearing Martin Campbell was going to direct Green Lantern, and I literally said, yes,
Can't fail.
this is going to be awesome.
Yes.
Because he had also just done Edge of Darkness with Mel Gibson.
Oh, that's
which
right.
is also
Oh,
Underrated.
that one's,
it's underrated.
that
It's a
one's
good movie. Yeah, that was kind of
Yeah,
the
that
start
came right around the time he was losing his marbles a little bit, and so I feel like it was underseen for that reason.
It was like,
You know.
it came out in January of 2010.
Right.
So that was well, let's give him one more shot, and maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
This movie was written by committee, basically 4 writers, but the 4th one, Michael Goldenberg, was brought in to punch up the script that the first 3 guys wrote.
Yeah.
I don't know. This might be writ. It was written.
They wrote it.
They wrote it.
They carved it on the walls of Valhalla, and here we are now today, observing what they came up with.
Yeah.
And the movie starred Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, Peter Skarsgård, and Mark Strong, among others that I'm sure we'll mention and get to.
Yeah, a little myriad of kind of supporting players. You got Tim Robbins, Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan shows up for a voice.
Jeffrey Rush.
Jeffrey Rush shows up for a voice.
Those guys did that in about an hour and a half.
I'm gonna say.
They went in a booth. They don't even know what movie they were doing, probably.
No, they just said, read this.
Read that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
We'll see where we can use it.
The budget now, this has got to be. This is bigger than Moonfall. This is going to be our biggest budget movie we've ever done.
Really?
$200 million.
Yep.
It is a $200 million budgeted movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it made $220 million worldwide. Cut that in half. $110 million. They made about half of what they spent.
Was most of it on like CGI and stuff?
It's got to be because Reynolds wasn't commanding. He wasn't a $20 million guy yet at this point.
He might have been a $10 million.
Was it
might
10
have
at
been.
that point?
Yeah.
But I can't imagine beyond that what it was they were spending all that money on. You know what it must have been? It must have been Peter Skarsgård's head, the head prosthetics.
Professor.
That was
Professor Goiter.
Yeah. That was a large sum right there.
Dr. Goiter.
The movie famously raked over the coals. I mean, it's one of those kind of like Ishtar, where it's not just, a bad movie that kind of goes by the wayside, but it's become a famous bad movie.
Yeah.
And that it became the butt of jokes and kind of like a meme about itself. Ryan Reynolds famously, even in the trailer of the first Deadpool movie, was ripping on it by don't make the super suit green or animated.
Right.
Yep.
And it's become a huge joke. But man, the box office, the studio didn't think it was funny. I'll tell you that.
No. They had a planned trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They tried to set that up.
Actually, guys, you know that this was actually supposed to be the start of the DC EU, and then it did so badly that they said, "Well, let's make Man of Steel the start of it instead."
This was going to be their Iron Man.
Yep. This was going to be their Iron Man.
And that's, I think, why. The only explanation I can come up with is why Ryan Reynolds was such a dick throughout the whole movie. Is they're trying to do the Tony Stark?
Trying to do the Tony Stark treatment.
Tony Stark, that makes sense.
Well, it didn't really work. The movie right now sits at a 5.5 on IMDb.
Yeah.
It's 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, which was higher than I thought it was going to be.
39 on Metacritic.
Yeah, and then a 45% audience score, so a little less than half of the
Surprisingly, I watched it on Vudu, and surprisingly, it was like a 3.8
out of 4.
Vudu out of 5.
Wow. Out of 5. Well, that's probably the highest rating, man. The Voodooers love them some Green Lantern.
Apparently they do.
Yeah.
Apparently they do.
That's
Sounds
right.
like it's almost as bad as Google reviews.
All those people that we use Voodoo also must have had swings facing walls when they were kids, but we're not going to, get into that.
I was surprised. This movie actually was not nominated for Razzies.
It wasn't?
No.
Oh, this seems like tailor-made for the Razzies.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was not.
Okay.
Did anybody lose their entire career after this?
Well, Reynolds, I think this was his last shot at being like the leading man. Because not only this, famously Jonah Hex and some other movies, R.I.P.D. that he had tried. Not Jonah Hex. That was Ryan Reynolds in that?
No, that was Josh Brolin.
That was Josh Brolin. I'm thinking of R.I.P.D.
Yes.
R.I.P.D. All of the Ryan Reynolds movies hadn't really done well. And so Deadpool, when it finally hit, was like a big moment for him. And the fans that celebrate him on the internet were like, he finally has a #1 movie as a leading man in the box office.
We just had to cover his entire face.
Yeah, we just exactly.
Well, yeah. The magic disappearing mask.
Yeah,
that's no good, but just cover the whole face the whole time. Good.
That was perfect.
Perfect.
We like that better.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what we like better? We like better when you guys interact with us and interact with the show. So thank you for listening, but we'd like to interact with you. So there's all kinds of ways that you can do that. You can find us on facebook.com/badmoviesrule. We're very active on there. You can send us an email suggesting movies. You can just ask us questions. We'll do them on the mailbag episodes. Our email address is thisshowIstrash@gmail.com. Also, you can sign up for our newsletter. If you go on badmoviesrule.com, you go to the bottom of the page or through the support tab, you can sign up for our newsletter. We've got promo codes to our merch in there. We've got all kinds of, you find out about upcoming episodes before we post them on social media. So there's all kinds of ways you can get in touch with us. We are here to entertain you guys also. So give us some feedback. That's all we want to do. If there's other things we could be doing, other ideas you have, we're all ears, man. Let us know, because we're really just here for you guys and to make you guys laugh and have a good time. So today...
And to shake your head.
And to shake your head.
Shake your head.
Shake your head.
Yeah.
Oh, to make them shake their head. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, thought I missed something.
No. Like when you listen to the episode and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that movie, and you're like, oh yeah, that was.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Not good.
Are you trying to say they don't? I thought you meant they shake their heads because they disagree with what we're saying, and I know that everybody out there agrees with every single take that we have on this show.
Oh yeah, I know that that one particular guy.
Everyone.
Bob.
I was just going to say, what about Bob?
What about Bob?
Even Bob. Wait, yeah. Maybe
I guess
not.
people don't agree with everything Bob says.
No, it's like
That's
when
fine.
you shake, you listen to some guys that you like listening to, and they, they're like, oh yeah, we're talking about Green Lantern, and then someone else who's driving to work is like, I remember Green Lantern, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember Green Lantern.
You're right. That's true.
That could be.
But I'll be interested to find out where we all land on this.
I'm gonna
movie.
tell you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna jump into it.
Yes, we are.
So I'm gonna set the scene just real quick. We're talking the summer of 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fast Five, arguably the best of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yes.
Bridesmaids came out. The first Thor came out.
Mm-hmm.
The first Captain America came out.
Mm-hmm.
Super 8. I don't know if you guys saw Super 8.
saw Super 8.
That was amazing.
You said amazing.
I don't think I've seen that one.
J.J. Abrams
All the
film.
movies you've mentioned were amazing movies that
were amazing
Yeah.
movies.
A lot of those I've seen.
X-Men X-Men First Class.
That was good. Yeah.
Green Lantern.
can't win them all.
Not everybody can be the best.
It's like when a pitcher blows a perfect game in the ninth inning. Is that
right,
what you're
pretty
saying?
much.
Right?
It's like the summer was going so well.
Nobody should have looked or talked to 2011. They had a perfect game going.
The whole year was going well.
Someone should have asked, can we maybe kick this one to 2012? We got a really good year of movies going
sandbag
right
this
now.
one.
Yeah.
All right, so look, for the most part, just so you guys know, this is not going to be a comic book comparison episode, right? Well, I mean, unless I don't want to speak for all of you, but we're not
No, I have no
Green
no
Lantern
clue.
nerds.
Yeah, no.
So you're not going to get a lot of like, well, in the comic book, this should have, I mean, I'm a comic fan, but it was always Marvel. Like when I was a kid, I collected X-Men and Avengers and on some Image comics, things like that, but I never really got on the DC side. So Green Lantern's not something I am super knowledgeable about.
Guaranteed we're going to get a post or an email that's, well, in the comic book, they...
Which is fine.
Yeah.
If they want to do that, I'm down for it.
Down for it.
fine.
But just so you know, you're not going to get a lot of that from us. We all kind of came in fresh. So this is strictly being judged as a movie. Right?
Yeah, so technically Ryan Reynolds' characterization of Hal Jordan not being accurate to the comic, we're not even going to talk about it.
Probably not.
Did I just talk
And
about
even
it?
if we did, even if we did, we'd talk about him in a manner we don't care anyway. So
yeah, that's
right.
actually also true. Like,
There you go. All right. So the movie starts and we get Jeffrey Rush, great legendary actor,
legendary.
of this voiceover exposition, which was, I don't know, it was terrible to me. I don't know what you guys thought, but it was just like 3,600 sectors of space have been cut out, and now there's green cloud. And one time, the Honorable Glibglob, protector of the Meemoops, were, it was just like all nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the movie was already like 2 hours, so how much can we cut out by having Jeffrey Rush do this? I mean,
Gosh,
But he's just spitting out nonsense words.
it is. I'll tell you this. So, saw it in theaters back in 2011, as I've set the scene and talked about my disappointment. But even trying to watch it, I rewound the beginning 3 times just to try to understand what he was talking about.
Funny you should say that. I did the exact same thing. I was like, Wait. What force are we talking? The emerald power
That's
of
right.
will?
Yes.
Wigwam imprisoned Schnip-Snap in a box
On the planet Ryan.
That's exactly what I heard.
Then
Planet
you
Glorb.
stroke the flurb.
Yes.
I always wondered how those were made.
I'm all for world building and creating believable science fiction worlds or comic book worlds, but you got to give it to me in pieces. You can't just dump like 9 made up words in the span of 30 seconds.
Scroll some
biggest
text
thing.
for me. Scroll some text.
They really should have just done it.
Right.
Should have just taken a page out of Maximum Overdrive's book and just scrolled a thing.
Scroll
So-
a thing so I
How
can
much
read it, and I can read about the glib globs and schmoop schmups and
Yeah.
How much do you know about internet memes? Oh boy, I got a lot of backtracking.
And why Jeffrey Rush, though? That was the other
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
The guy has one other scene in the movie, or 2 other scenes in the movie.
He's Fishhead.
yeah, he's
is he?
Fishhead.
Yeah, I called that guy David Attenborough.
That's right. That's it. That was Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah.
He's Fish.
So he said that you have to be without fear to be a Green Lantern
Yes.
in his like exposition here.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you had literally no fear, I don't really understand how you would stay alive.
Right.
Right.
That's one thing. You'd probably be dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that only sets up a very confusing performance from Ryan Reynolds because
Right.
Ryan Reynolds is the most inconsistent lead in a comic book movie maybe ever. Right?
For this particular film?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
He's
yes.
Mr. Reckless Flyboy. He operates fast and loose with the rules. He's not scared of anything, but he's also scared of everything.
He's afraid
Seems
of
that
being
way.
late in the first scene we see him in.
Okay.
He jumps out of bed.
All right.
He's afraid
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
otherwise, why is he rushing?
He doesn't. He's afraid of literally doing anything in the movie.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
And the whole time they're like,
it's-
you're too afraid. I just smell fear. Just fear.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, I thought he wasn't afraid. Like it's inconsistent in the way he's presented in almost every scene
Yeah.
Yeah.
to me.
We got a long movie to go, though.
Yeah, I know we
James.
do. Let's get into it.
Sorry.
I mean, we got to talk about
gotta
the
talk about,
inconsistencies of
flip-flops
it.
and
All right. So
schmoop-schmoops
he
here.
gets. We meet Hal Jordan. He's late for his. He's got to basically.
No, Parallax gets loose.
Oh well, let's talk about. I thought I covered that with the Memoops and the Glib Globs.
Yeah.
No.
But Parallax, the giant yellow stink cloud.
So these, yeah.
Parallax the putrid.
Couldn't they come up with a better name of Parallax? I mean, that's like Paralakes or something. We're in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We got 20,000
Chain of
lakes or
lakes.
whatever. Chain of lakes.
Land O'Lakes.
Land
of
O'Lakes.
Lakes,
all that
whatever.
stuff.
All of it.
Yep.
Paralakes
Basically,
is
he
our
had been
villain.
imprisoned in a green box by the previous ring holder because these Green Lanterns, they're
Oh,
given a sector of space to be like you're the cop for this precinct, basically.
Yes.
And
This whole sector, which
this
is like
whole
a
sector,
galaxy.
which is so he's Earth is included in this guy's
Yeah.
area.
A mere sun.
He imprisons the stink cloud, the yellow stink cloud,
Yeah.
and he now has gotten loose
Because
at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, so someone
3
rubbed the lamp
random
and-
aliens.
Yeah, these 3 aliens come in, they rub
3
the lamp
random
and he's gone.
aliens that look like a video game are just like, oh, we crashed on this forbidden planet that we shouldn't have probably been near at all.
Just
But
grab the
let's-
hubcaps and get out of here.
So let's just walk around while we wait for a rescue.
Right.
Are we already talking about the PS3 graphics
Yeah.
for this? Is that
Yeah.
you said video game?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into it as we talk about it, but yeah. Hal Jordan is heading he's a fighter pilot, and basically he's supposed to run this test to do a shakedown run for these 2 new unmanned fighter jets, basically, right?
Right,
They're going to
yeah.
put them through their paces.
Right.
Better than drones, but
Yeah, him and Blake Lively are going to fly 2 manned fighter jets
Yep.
against these 2
F-35s.
F-35s.
yes.
And he's late, and he's got the little argument with Blake Lively, trying to set up their tense relationship right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right?
Because this is Ryan Reynolds just being Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
right.
Wakes up with the beautiful lady, and I'm running late, and oh hey, there's water in the tap, and then he gets in his muscle car and
Right.
drives down.
Of course, it's a muscle
and then
car.
slams on the brakes without hitting the clutch.
Right.
right.
So that's where he has no fear.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And then has the nerve. He's the one swerving in and out of traffic, and he calls the oncoming car an
Yeah, that really bugged me. I was like,
totally
how
right.
is that guy the
I was thinking, I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
definitely that guy is the he shouldn't have been coming down the street in opposite direction
Wow,
at that
how
time
dare he.
because you were late.
How dare he? be
Yeah,
in
the other
correct
thing
lane.
is he's wrapping something in newspaper. At that point, you can't tell what it is. But with later, you find out there was no point for him to be doing that in the car that morning at all.
No, not at all.
0 point to that.
No. Oh, that's a running theme of this movie. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, I was worried.
He had fear. He was fearful that we weren't going to get
afraid.
Yeah, the problem with the writing is not that there's too much exposition. I know we kind of criticize that opening, right? But it's that they give us the exposition when they do only immediately before we need it, right?
Yeah.
Like 1 second before we need it. And so there's often times where we don't understand how anything works or connects with each other until right before we need to. So he's up there, they're flying these jets against these unmanned guys, and he uses Blake Lively as a decoy because he's a hothead, fast and loose flyboy. And he's trying to be, Maverick from Top
I was just
Gun.
going to say, he's trying to be Maverick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He ends up flying higher than these things stall out. Just like the Iron Man movie that had come out in 2008, right? Pulls the same kind of joke there. Mm-hmm. And we know nothing about his backstory or anything. So we get all of these flashbacks of his father. Okay.
Yeah.
And dying. But only right before
distracting.
we need to understand that he's got dad issues.
It all started the day I was born.
Right. Maybe he was just realizing in that moment, I'm actually a scared person as I'm about to crash this F-35.
It's such a dick move because he was hired to do a job and ends up almost bankrupting the company.
Yeah.
That's why he gets jumped.
Just to show off.
That's why he gets jumped later on.
Well, but I mean, he had plenty of time. He stalled that plane out, but he had plenty of time to recover it and not have a crash. But because he's afraid and has dad issues and saw his dad blow up on the runway, he's got to pull the eject seat there.
Yeah, he literally just spun around for 50,000 feet as it was falling down.
Plus,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is probably the first time we see him, how much of a non-hero he is.
Yeah.
Because he literally sacrifices his partner, the other pilot, to do this.
Yeah, and then hoses.
Pointless. Yes. Because he could have just flown up.
Right. And then he hoses her dad and his company.
Yeah.
And gets these guys fired and loses their job, all just to pull some kind of stunt.
Just to prove that he's cool.
Right.
So what you're saying is that in the screenplay, the motivations aren't clear.
No, it's not at all.
No. So what you're suggesting is that it was poorly written?
Yes. Again, a running theme.
I'm just going to wait for the Broadway.
I'll wait for the musical. All right, so he's fired, but I also wasn't even mad about that because I'm like, super dick move there, buddy.
Yeah.
Blake Lively comes up and this so far her character arc has just been, I'm yelling in your face because I'm super career-minded woman, but I'm also a fighter pilot and I don't take any nonsense from anybody. Everything's just kind of a caricature in this movie. Broad archetypes, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, because she comes up and he says something to her about, oh, you're such a great pilot and you're riding a desk. And then she's all like, I don't mind. I'm good at business. That's right.
That's right.
I could do both.
I could do both.
Put the desk in my plane. I'll do both right now.
Just going to say that.
So I also love right after this, he is heading to his nephew's birthday party.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And his entire backstory and his crash are on the news.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
walking.
Yeah.
Earlier that day, Hal went and stopped and got cigarettes and a glass of milk.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, this crash at Ferris aircraft, Hal Jordan, who just happened to have a father who died on the runway back in 1993 in a similar plane crash accident.
Incredible timing. In fact, every
Impeccable.
piece of pertinent information we need is on the news many times in this movie.
Well, and these are private. His dad and him are both private pilots. Like, when do you see on the news them give you any information on that sort of thing?
Yes. When does corporate America actually tell the truth?
Right.
Well, yeah, and how would that ever have been on the news so quickly? Like, he just left there
Yeah.
and came to his nephew's birthday party.
Yeah.
And you would think too, because they're testing against new technology, right? It would be done under like some sort of top secret
Oh, yeah.
classification.
You know
and
what?
code.
Yeah.
I didn't even
That's
think of
a
that.
good point.
You wouldn't even know that anything was going on. And if
Yes.
there was a crash, they'd cover it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like the aliens.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not going to breeze through this because ultimately the scene is totally meaningless to
They
the
could have
entire film.
They could have saved us 10
Yeah,
minutes in
he
this
has
movie.
his pep talk with his nephew. Then his brother's mad at him for being reckless like his dad or whatever. And then he leaves and ends up going out to his car, and he gets kidnapped by a green bubble because earlier, what was the guy's name that was the ring holder before him?
Amir's son.
Schmigsmurg. What was it?
Amir's son.
Amir's son?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Amir's son.
Amir's son.
I mean, he was a pretty cool son. I wouldn't just say Amir's son.
It's fine. But
whatever.
The yellow stink cloud. The yellow stink cloud shows up at his space station or wherever he is and attacks him.
Yep.
And he's mortally wounded, and he ends up getting to Earth just in time for the ring to choose a new ring bearer.
Right.
He crashes on the beach.
Crashes in this, yeah.
It's like these stones by a pier.
Yep. And he looks at the ring and says, "Choose wisely." And then the ring goes...
turns into a little bubble and it goes away.
Yeah, and the ring...
green
and it ends up
bubble.
Glinda the Good Witching him all the way back to the wreck,
crash
right?
site.
So it snatches him away from his car in a green bubble and pulls him all the way to this crash site where there's an alien spacecraft and an alien, and he totally no-sells it.
Just sitting there.
Yeah.
Oh, like it happens every day. Oh,
yes.
Alien spaceship.
When
he looks at it and is like, huh. And he's kind of...
Yeah.
And then he sees the hand move,
weird.
and he's like, "Hurrah!" And then he springs into action to save the life. And then it's like, you pull an alien out, and he's just like, "Oh yeah."
He's like, "We'll get you to a hospital.
We'll get you to hospital, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll get you to hospital, buddy. Just breathe. Just keep breathing."
Where were they? New York City. We'll go get you to New York General here.
Well,
whatever.
and if it's an alien, you're gonna pull him out of his space pod. Maybe he can't breathe oxygen.
Right?
Or
Jack,
nitrogen.
is there air?
Yeah.
You don't know?
Have you ever read War of the Worlds?
Just take,
Seems pretty fine.
he takes him to the hospital, sir. We don't.
I love
We don't deal with eggplants here, sir.
And the bubble,
right, he's made out of rhubarb.
what are you doing? That's a person.
All right,
I was just gonna say, when he gets abducted, they show him in a bubble and his whole body moving. It was just really awkward.
It was
seeing his legs and every time they showed a full body shot of someone out, it was just awkward. Something with this movie. However they did whatever they were doing, the CGI maybe.
Yeah,
it looked unnatural.
Like
Alien.
It had to be.
It looked alien.
No, it didn't look like Alien. Alien was much better.
No, but yeah. Okay, that's fair.
All right. So he tells him, he's like, a giant yellow stink cloud is coming to kill everyone. The ring is yours now. I'm out of here. And, passes his
Yeah, he dies. And he just dies.
Does he tell him about the yellow stink?
I don't actually know. He doesn't tell him about the yellow stink cloud. That's right.
No, he tells
you'll
him.
figure it out.
He tells him to recite the oath.
That's right. That's right. Recite the oath.
All he says is
which he's trying to do 5 minutes later. He's already fully bought in.
Yeah.
To this, right. And trying to say the oath to the lantern.
Purple alien tells me recite the oath. Okay, let's recite the oath.
Yeah.
He must be a good guy.
He must be.
He has to be.
I like how he calls his friend Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi's in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes. I like how he calls Taika Waititi, and he comes and picks him up. And this whole time, he's just been chilling on the beach. He's already had time to bury the alien body under the rocks.
There's some rocks up.
And Taika's also spacecraft. Cool.
Everybody undersells it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then,
it's an everyday occurrence. They see these things.
But then all of a sudden, the helicopters are like... And it's like, okay, this crash has had to have been here for hours at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
And
all
now...
these boulders to bury this guy.
Yes.
They would have seen that coming through the airspace. There would have been communications galore.
Man.
They wouldn't have had any communication.
Yeah.
Choppers, planes, whatever would have been scrambled right away.
Yeah.
It would have been definitely.
And there was no one else on this beach.
What else was weird about all of that? It wasn't the alien in the rocks. It wasn't the no-sell job by Reynolds and everybody. It was Taika Waititi speaking with an American accent this whole movie.
Yeah. I mean,
it's weird.
Is that where you draw the line?
It's weird because he's one of those guys.
I draw the line. This guy's from New Zealand.
After he started becoming famous for his own stuff like What We Do in Shadows, and obviously we've seen him now in a bunch of other stuff, even Ryan Reynolds movies like Free Guy, right? And obviously the Thor franchise.
And Jojo Rabbit.
It's all in his native accent. I'm not Jojo Rabbit.
Not Jojo Rabbit.
But the rest of them. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it's just somebody I haven't seen do an American accent before. And so when I saw it, because I had never seen Green Lantern in 2011, this was my first time ever watching it.
Just this week?
Just this week.
Oh, man.
And it was so off-putting to me. I was like, just go back to talking like a Kiwi, please.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
this
glad
is
you're
terrible.
coming into it fresh. That's
Totally
fascinating.
100% fresh.
I've never seen it either.
Because everyone said it was terrible. I'm like, well, why am I going to go see that? It's apparently the biggest pile of garbage of all time.
And now you regret not seeing it sooner, I'm sure.
Well, you'll see. We'll see where I end up landing on this. But all right, so we cut to there's this British alien Green Lantern. His name is Sinestro. So like, how is he from Britain, but he's an alien? I don't understand, but that's fine.
Well,
Why do all the aliens speak English?
with British
Well,
accents
they
too.
do
He
cover
does
that
reference
later.
that.
Yeah,
the
I know. There's
translator
that one
does.
But
little.
we don't.
Oh,
we
the
wouldn't still
translator
be able
button.
to understand them.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have
That's
a ring.
fair.
Right.
Anyway, he starts talking to the Mars Attacks guys about fear, right? And he's like,
It's not the same thing. I was expecting him to be
That's what they. I couldn't figure out what they looked like. That is, yeah. Wow. That's
Mars
accurate.
Attacks and Mega Mind. Just
Sinestro spends many scenes, played by Mark Strong, played well by Mark Strong.
yeah.
Spends many of his scenes talking about the danger of fear and how it's bad. And fear is what is Parallax is attacking, and we have to defend. Let me take our finest Green Lantern Corps people, and we'll go and fight him and wipe him out right now. So, because fear can't win, and so they're like, "Fine, go ahead, give him the nod."
Can I say this about the Mars Attacks guys?
Yep.
They are the most political, like omnipotent celestial beings ever. They're like, yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead, warmongering, sure, go ahead,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah,
Fine.
Go fight, yeah.
that's true because they're the billion-year-old High Council.
And then, yeah, later
Right.
on,
Yeah.
it's
The
like,
Guardians
yeah, we
is what
got to
they're called.
consider the billions of years and blah, blah, blah sort of thing. I'm like, man, this is...
Well, the guy's like, "Have you talked to the Guardians yet?" I wanted to cut to the Guardians of the Galaxy sitting on a thing.
That would have been great.
That would have been
Awesome,
great.
right?
That would have
Yeah.
been great.
Oh my gosh.
Can't cross over universes though.
Sadly, no. The next, now we're starting to get introduced to more characters. The next character we're introduced to is Amanda Waller, played by Angela Bassett.
Yeah,
Is now been played
She was there.
more famously by
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis, thank you, in the Suicide Squad movies.
Yeah.
And Amanda Waller has brought in Dr. Hammond, who we've also just met, to investigate this alien because they were the guys in the helicopters that came and picked up the corpse, the rhubarb corpse,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and is now have it there on the table.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you're a doctor. Come check it out.
what's he eating when we first see?
Crackers with sauerkraut and Tabasco sauce.
That looks so gross.
Is it really? Is that what it is?
That's what it is, yeah. I'd try it once.
It looks so
Oh,
gross.
yeah.
Dr.
Sorry,
Hector Hammond.
Dr.
keep
Hector
going.
Hammond. He's examining the alien, and while he's doing it, he gets like this yellow schmutz on him.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
like, zapped by some leftover stuff from the stink cloud or something.
Yeah, so some of that
He got
alien is
zapped
still
by
in there.
leftover fear.
That's okay, sure. It was like yellow schmutz, basically.
Whatever.
is what it was.
It's a little schmutz.
He got the schmutz on
Got a
him.
little schmutz from the schmoop schmoop on his.
It was
boop, boop.
fear, guys.
At that exact same time, it's intercut with Ryan Reynolds trying to get the lantern to do something, and he doesn't know what to say. So he says, "By the power of Grayskull and to infinity and beyond."
Kind of classic rip-off of like Tobey Maguire trying to figure out the
Up,
web.
and away.
Yeah, up and
Yeah.
away, web.
The
Go,
whole
web,
thing,
go.
Yeah.
Like classic. Okay, I'm just going to look at this lantern and
Right.
stay stuff. Yeah.
But Hal Jordan, again, literally has to do nothing. It just happens. It turns on.
He had to flip it over.
Is that what he did?
He turns the lantern 180
Yeah.
degrees.
Oh,
It's like,
did he?
oh, it's the wrong
Oh,
side.
got it. Okay.
It says open.
Oh, this side it says off, on. All right.
It's like a Claymore mine. What does it say?
And then he
Front
delivers-
toward enemy.
And then he delivers the Green Lantern oath, and just like that,
And he
he's the
magically knew
new
it.
Green Lantern.
He magically knew the old.
Yeah, it like beamed it into his
It
brain.
beamed it into his. You saw his eyes turn
changed.
white.
He has nothing that he has to do.
No.
His eyes, that was such a poor choice. The
Yeah.
pale blue.
Oh, yeah.
It looks so gross.
It's weird, especially when with the CGI mask when that was
Yeah.
on. Those
Yeah.
two things together just made his whole face look
bad.
fake.
Good. Just
it was
bad.
That was bad.
Bad choices across the board. All right. Meanwhile, Dr. Schmutz is writhing in pain because the yellow, whatever the stuff got in him, and is now like inside of him. So we get back to his apartment, and he's literally just writhing around,
seizing on his bed,
writhing on his
sweating.
bed like crazy. Played by
Yeah.
Dr. Schmutz is Peter Sarsgaard.
Peter Sarsgaard.
Say that, great actor.
He is a great actor.
He is, yeah.
He is a great actor.
And if you notice that like one scene doesn't really seem to go into or lead to the next in any meaningful way, we're like, and the next scene this happens, and the next scene this happens, because that's how the movie is.
Because it just plods.
That's how it just plods.
Literally plods along.
Right. Because the next scene, like I'm just saying this constantly over and over again. We're at the bar, and now he's
trope alert.
Oh yeah, big trope. I don't.
I don't have a trope button yet. We got to get a trope button.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
And now everyone knows we don't have the trope button.
That was
we just have to load it.
We'll do this one. Trope alert.
Trope alert.
Actually,
I like that. That's pretty good.
That was not bad at all.
That was pretty good. That was pretty
Middle
good.
button.
That one.
All right.
Classic.
Middle button.
Give it the middle button.
Middle button.
Yeah, so he's the guy, the hotshot pilot in the bar with the girl, and we're gonna dance.
So the archetype of the archetype and the archetype go to the typical location to do stuff.
Yes.
As we were also just watching the other archetype, because look at Dr. Hammond. What is he? Yeah. He's a sloppy, long, greasy-haired, ugly-looking, eating sauerkraut Tabasco sauce, wiping his fingers on his shirt. Like, this is the typical science nerd. Yeah. And now we're in the bar with the other place, and let's dance.
He's supposed to be, they kind of hint at, maybe there was some relationship between Carol and Hal.
Yeah.
And
we don't even know that yet. That's the thing.
That's true. We don't know that yet.
They wait till
hint because he has a Carol Ferris article on his desk. So maybe you think he's some sort of creeper at first. That's
right. Because he takes his glasses off to answer the door.
Right.
So why? Yeah,
that way you can see it better.
I was gonna say, if you need glasses, sure, take them off when you need to walk around and do things that require motor skills.
It just depends what kind of sight he's got. He might not need them.
Yeah. So it's so dumb. And the whole thing at the bar, they're like, let's dance and talk about our backstory.
Here's some exposition.
Right. Remember that time we were so cool with the things when we did all those things that time?
She's all
aerial flying.
No.
You can't you can't establish their whole backstory like this.
No.
This is Blake Lively's dialogue in the whole scene. No. No.
You did it better.
No.
You did it better.
Smash cut to we're dancing with.
That was a good. That was
good. Incredible performance.
Right there.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Smash cut to now we're dancing with some of our clothes off.
Right.
Like I have now
catch that.
I have now since taken my button-up shirt and wrapped it around my waist so my camisole is showing.
Yeah.
Right. And all she has to do is mention the fact that he could have righted the ship with that plane that was crashing earlier, and he ditches her immediately.
He
was like, peace.
Oh my gosh!
Forget
what
this.
a little
immediately.
What a little
enough.
bee.
But that's the thing in the whole movie, man. Again, in the hero's journey, there's always that. Again, I'm talking about archetypes and especially for scripting. Whether it's Luke Skywalker or Spider-Man or whatever, there's that hesitation in the beginning, right? Like whether you let a mugger goes in Spider-Man, right? Or Luke, can't go because he's got stuff chores he has to do at home or whatever.
Chores.
Like on you that initial resistance, but then you think it through and you push forward through it. Yeah. He continually quits, walks away. I mean, we'll get to it in a second, but he quits being a Green Lantern before he is required to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
That's also true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He is straight up not a hero.
No.
Like there is no redeeming qualities about this character. And I think they were hoping that someone like Ryan Reynolds with his natural charisma was just going to carry the part.
Right.
But you can't give him nothing.
Right.
I mean, you can't give him a part that actually makes him a character that you don't like and be like, well, people think he's pretty, so it'll work.
Right.
It's just not going to work.
It's just it's like with like we're talking the archetypes and all that, but he is so bipolar is what it is. Because like that, like he's in this confidence moment with Blake Lively of like, haha, I got you to dance even though you were all resistive, and now we're dancing and we're talking about the first time that we flew together.
Right.
And all that. And then she says, like you said, she says one thing and he's like, I'm going home. Like,
he just,
taking my ball
and he like puts his jacket up all like, and he goes outside and gets his ass kicked by some three guys
who got fired because of his
who got fired. Right.
So I'm almost like,
told you to watch your back.
Yeah. So
told you to watch your back, Hal.
What? 5 guys show up. They beat him up because they lost their job.
Right.
And then he turns around and just smashes them all.
Accidentally activates
accidentally,
the power.
but still, it's like you just use a superpower.
Right.
You accidentally, right.
On guys you
on
got
these guys that had a legitimate beef with you. Yeah, they were dicks, but like, you're the dick, dude.
You're the dick,
like,
dude.
you are the dick.
We needed a moment from Ryan Reynolds where he just goes, wait, am I the drama?
And it really was. Because he said, hey, my face isn't done yet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's fair that he didn't necessarily know his powers yet, but still, he was.
I mean, realistically, like, he probably could have killed them too with this.
He
like,
probably-
he just
yeah.
manifests this
Fist.
10-foot fist and knocks them across the parking lot, and they all go flying through vehicles, and car alarms go off. I love how his Challenger car alarm goes off, and it's from like 1970.
I know. Yeah.
Or it's like a 72
70s,
era Challenger.
Yeah.
He got that custom installed.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. Hooked it up to the lights and everything.
But before anything can happen, he's whisked away to space again by another green bubble.
Another green blurb comes.
Yeah.
And
Against his will, he's required again to do nothing. Gets taken all the way to the Green Lantern planet of Oa, right?
This is really inconvenient, you guys.
yeah.
This whole sequence is terrible. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the sequence where they're on this planet because it's just tropey,
Stupid.
garbage, stupid nonsense, okay?
Yeah.
We get the opening exposition all over again. So all this means is we didn't need to have Jeffrey Rush do it at the beginning because they explain everything to him again
They went through it again.
That's a really
in
good
the
point.
movie. So
That
why
would
not-
have been a more apt time for it, too.
Why not just
Yeah.
let us learn it
Yeah.
along when the character is learning it, right?
That would have been
Yeah.
good.
But, and then now we're going to do the training sequence. We're going to shoehorn that in there.
I'm going to pretend to be a drill sergeant, even though those probably don't exist on my planet.
Yep.
Right. Then Mark Strong, Sinestro's got to come over and be like, oh, you're nothing. You're just full of fear.
You're just a human.
You're just a human.
You're just a human.
Now we're going to sword/chainsaw fight. And then at the end, he quits.
Quits.
You know,
The rhubarbian elf got him to quit.
Oh my gosh.
when you say it out loud, the chainsaw sword fight, when you say it, it's like, oh, that sounds awesome.
Sounds like something you got to see, right?
It's
That
not
sounds
as
like-
cool as it sounds.
and it's really like, another missed opportunity there, guys. That could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been
Could have
cool.
been.
We're halfway through the movie at this point, and he's still not done anything. He's quit the Green Lantern Corps before having to do anything. It's just
Didn't return the ring.
whoever wrote this doesn't
keeping this.
understand. You know what?
me.
I'm keeping this.
Okay. Basically.
It chose me. You can't take it.
That's right. Apparently, there was a deleted scene where Mark Strong tells him after he quits that the ring is bound to him till he dies. Like,
Yeah.
basically,
They
like,
probably should have kept that.
It's in
there.
the
Yeah,
extended
that would have
cut.
been helpful.
right. But
Is it-
still,
yeah, I didn't do the extended cut because you had to buy that one versus renting it. So
yeah,
I didn't want to see more of this.
it would have been helpful to know.
the extended cut was
Right?
over 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
It does. The extended cut is about 10 minutes longer.
Yeah.
All right. So while all this is going on, Dr. Schmutz is getting worse, and he's starting
Got
to
a
read.
hell of a goiter going on at this point.
Like, bro, just pop that in the mirror or something, right? Like, just get in there, get a couple Q-tips, and just
Hair just getting greasier and
Greasier and yeah.
He was looking pretty rough. They did a pretty
teaching-
good job making him look nasty.
Oh no, that was great. I got no
that was
problems with
good.
that. He's teaching a college course and he starts to read students' minds, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's a freak.
He's a
man.
freak.
Can't wait to play Fortnite later.
Would you- Yeah. If they really were listening on what college students were saying, it would have been a totally different scene.
because dude, I just gotta get out here and get to that kegger.
Wonder if Becky will let me get to second base tonight.
Right. Or somebody just going,
I mean, that was me in biology class.
I'm saying.
That was totally me in biology class.
Exactly. Bro, am I in the right class? That's would have been me.
Gosh.
Yeah. So he goes and he's like, something's going on with me. And he goes and takes some of his blood and puts it under a microscope.
Well, he body slams the college kid.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I
Yes.
forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Like,
So he's
no, he just
telekinetically-
mind slammed him, yeah.
So he's accidentally reading his thoughts, like you said, and then he's like,
Yanked him
like,
out of his chair
Peter,
with
what
the
did you say?
Yeah.
And
What'd you say to me?
what'd you say to me? And then he just like, flips him, body slams him.
Force rips him out of his chair. Goes and puts his blood on a microscope. And this microscope is also apparently able to render his blood in CGI, which is
seconds.
That's a hell of a microscope.
It really was.
It's really
really
incredible.
expensive microscope.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like a classic piece of movie technology right there.
And you see the yellow stink cloud is like eating up his DNA or something in there. I mean, I don't know what's
it's on his
happening.
blood cells. The stink cloud was consuming his blood cells or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we cut back, and Sinestro is now talking to the Mars Attacks aliens again and saying it's crazy. This Parallax, this bad guy, he just seems to feed on the very thing that our main character struggles with. What are we going to do?
It's very convenient.
It's very convenient.
Very convenient here.
He feeds on
Feeding
fear.
on fear.
And so the only way for us to defeat him is to harness fear ourselves.
Well, and right before that,
Yeah.
a bunch of the Green Lanterns go, and then they find Parallax. They find what?
Find
All the
stink cloud.
finest, apparently they're best soldiers.
Yeah, they find X-Lax, and he runs right through them.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean Parallax.
Did they take the Tinkerbell lantern with on that trip?
Yes,
Did you
I think
see
so.
the
That was
Tinkerbell
That's,
guy?
they ran out of power. That's why. Get the
They weren't
extension
clapping.
cord.
They were supposed to clap. They do believe in
I like
fairies.
how Sinestro's just like hanging back, watching everyone. He's watching the finest Green Lantern warriors take on Parallax,
Just
and they're all
getting taken
dying.
apart,
and
right.
he's just like,
well, this sucks.
he's like, all right, well, I guess I'm going back to Oa.
I'm gonna head out.
Everyone died,
Everyone.
except for me.
It was crazy.
Want to know why?
Well, someone
Because I
had to go
didn't
back
engage
and-
in the fight.
Because I had my tray table up and my seat back in a full upright position.
All right, so he wants to make a fear ring, long story short. Sinestro's brilliant idea is we're going to make a yellow ring made out of fear.
That's gonna work.
That's going to work.
got to.
This is how we're going to
got
defeat
to.
the yellow stink cloud.
Because fire always puts out fire.
Yes, it
And
does.
the
you know.
Immortals tell him that Parallax was
One of them at some
and
point.
it's like,
Yep.
so it didn't work for him. So let's try it.
Let's try it again.
One ring to rule them all.
Well,
Clearly.
I mean, history always repeats itself, right? I
They're
mean,
just like, guys, that happened 1 billion years ago. What
are the chances?
What are the chances? Let's do it again.
it's got to work this time. We just didn't do it right. We didn't do it right last time.
All right, it's time to go to a fighter jet party. This is the next thing. We talked about this in Batman and Robin. In these superhero movies, they throw parties for the stupid reasons.
I was wondering if Bruce Wayne was going to show up. They have a lot of parties.
That would have been great.
Tim Robbins, this is now the second scene he's in. We saw him a little earlier in the movie because he was observing that pilot, the test run. Right?
Well, and then we find out that Tim Robbins plays Senator Hammond.
Yes.
Who is Hector Hammond's father.
Right.
Right.
And there's that whole establishment of daddy issues for Hector Hammond as well.
Right.
That
I got the job
I only got
investigating the alien
job because you blah,
because he's your son.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
That's the scene before. Again, we don't get the exposition we need until right before we need it
Right.
because 2 minutes later, Tim Robbins, do you want to talk about how ham-fisted the writing is? He walks up to Dr. Schmutz, his son, and Hal Jordan, who's standing next to each other, and just goes, hey, Hal, you're so much better than my son. These thinkers, man, you're a doer. Right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes,
basically, is exactly what he's saying.
It is.
You're the son I never had. I'm right here, Dad.
Yeah.
And then he goes, well, I got to get out of here. This is work. And I'm like, I think he's talking about himself being in the movie.
Probably.
Probably.
And Tim
That
Robbins
wasn't
has been
ad-libbed.
like-
They're like, we'll keep it in.
Just leave it in. Yeah, that's accurate.
Man, oh man. And so this is also an hour into the film,
Literally.
and we have not. We now just find out that they all went to school together.
It should have been
Yeah.
15 minutes in.
That's what
This was one of the yes. I was like, why were we not focusing on this dynamic from the beginning?
And
Right.
Dr. Goiterhead is looks like he's 80 years older than them.
Right.
That's because Peter Sarsgaard was 37.
Yeah, I know.
Reynolds was 34,
34.
and Lively was 23.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to believe they all were in school
They
together.
all went to
And
school
then
together.
We're supposed to believe that Dr. Goiterhead is Tim Hammond's son. They're like 10 years apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe 13, but
well,
Still.
I mean, you know,
He matured
come on,
early.
man.
Regardless.
matured early.
There's
Tim
just no
Robbins matured.
way. There's no way.
I wasn't buying it. My wife said that. She's like, how can the senator be his dad?
Right, but now we're going to introduce this dynamic of, I always wanted her and you got her because we were schoolmates. And
Because I had premature balding
Hey,
and I got greasy hair.
I will. I will say, and we're just gonna glaze over that point. No, I will say, I did feel bad for him though. The second time watching this, where I was like, the goiter, whatever, I don't remember.
Dr. Schmutz.
Hector Hammond.
Dr. Schmutz.
Dr. Goiter, whatever.
I did feel bad for him though, because like everyone is literally being a dick to him the whole time. It's like, why wouldn't he be an evil?
Sure. Classic.
Right. We needed a shot of Ryan Reynolds just shoving him into the lockers or something like that.
Nobody was
Where
nice
was that
to him.
flashback?
That's why I wanted that
Yeah.
flashback.
That's what we needed.
Now, wait, what were we
right.
glossing over? Because I don't want to gloss over anything.
It was a bald thing.
Oh.
You don't want to gloss over anything?
If we're talking about hair, I thought you guys were talking about the hair sniff that he pulls off on
that.
Blake Lively.
Well,
that.
I
Are
was
we getting to
too.
that? Because I was like,
Yeah.
I wrote that down. Creepy hair
almost wrote
sniff.
that
I
down.
wonder if he went to the White House at that time and asked Biden for a hint, for tips. How do you do that? Because he was just like,
How do you not notice? How does Blake Lively not notice?
Now, do you think though that he was trying to read her thoughts when he was talking to her though? Because it seemed like he kind of was looking
I
at her
don't
funny
think
when
that
they were
he had
talking.
He had the power. At
He had
that
already
point.
done it.
He had it. Yeah, I don't
But
know
then there
if
was
he had
nothing.
control of
It was
There was
kind of
nothing.
weird. Maybe he
It
just couldn't
was.
control it. I guess I don't know.
Maybe he didn't know yet.
You know, the thing about telekinesis in films is it's always like you can only hear the thoughts that the movie needs you to hear.
Right.
That's
Because
true.
imagine if you could actually
Talk about
hear
telepathy, yeah.
everybody's thoughts ever all
That's an
around
important
you.
thing to call out, James.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's telepathy, not telekinesis.
It is telepathy and
We
not
need to make sure.
telekinesis.
Yeah, we're not going to get all.
Now hold on. I said I collected. I didn't know anything about Green Lantern. I read X-Men like crazy. Okay, and Jean Grey in the X-Men was had telekinesis and telepathy.
This
okay?
is true.
So that
All right. All right.
that
She
we have to-
had
We've
both.
had, we've
Well, this
had
guy
both.
has both too.
We've had a minimal
Yes.
amount of research done for this show.
And you know what, Dr. Schmutz, not nearly as hot as Jean Grey. Okay,
That's why you have a problem.
but otherwise, basically the same character.
That's it. That's
That's
He's
what it
more
is.
Professor X than he is Jean Grey.
Right, so
It's more beast.
so Hector's like
He's more beast.
Hector's like must kill dad, and uses his telekinesis. Suddenly, he has expert. Creatively,
Abilities.
expertly, carefully focused his telekinesis. Took a
Tunnel vision.
ripped a beat. So dad gets in a helicopter. It's taking off, and he rips a beer tapper
Yep.
off of the bar and sends it into the rotors.
into the rotor.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be more like uncontrolled power at that point, right? Like
Yeah.
hurt the crowd unintentionally and his dad's fine. That would have.
Right.
Right.
Why don't we just rewrite this and
We
shoot
should.
it
But
tonight?
what happens here is
Right now.
the longest helicopter crash of all time. There's enough time for people to make phone calls, for dramatic close-ups,
Yes.
Selfies.
I'll tell you this.
take selfies with the crashing helicopter.
Hashtag crashing helicopter.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
one's really
this
long.
this is a movie that also has like this collateral damage that is very linear.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, literally nobody died. This packed party, and there's no victims of this helicopter
You had
crash.
a helicopter with the top rotor spinning all
Yes.
around, skidding on the ground.
Oh, through the crowd,
through the people.
crowd.
Yeah.
whirring blades.
There's literally a cutaway of like some people jumping away, and the helicopter is basically like 3 feet behind.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you would have felt something from that.
Right.
for sure.
Yes. But no.
Green Lantern saves the day with a Hot Wheels tie-in.
Oh.
Yes.
Hey, there was foreshadowing for that.
Merchandising.
They were trying to tie into
Exactly.
Batman and Robin.
Selling those tracks.
Merchandising, where the
Selling
real
those
money from the
tracks.
movie is made.
Merchandising.
Robin. I don't think there were
Yeah.
any Happy Meal toys for Green Lantern, were there?
No.
They were trying.
They were trying.
He
they
shows
were
up
trying
and makes a
real hard.
Hot Wheel track for the helicopter to glide
So
through
stupid.
and ride along.
Puts
in.
it on. Took an engine from the Bone Stripper, put it in there, and
To be fair, they at least make fun of it later.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
do.
mean,
she does rip on him.
yeah,
it's
Or no, Taika Waititi does.
Yes.
yeah.
No, did you catch the foreshadowing for it?
When he is at the
When he
nephews.
uses-
Yeah.
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 That was
yeah.
foreshadowing.
tracking is-
That was
yeah.
foreshadowing, guys.
The tracking is
That's how it's done in screenwriting.
Okay.
so
No,
that's the
this-
thing with this movie though is they poke fun at the movie itself in the movie,
Yeah.
which was almost annoying because it's like, so you know how stupid this is, and your way of combating it is just to make a joke about it in the movie when it's not. It's not a comedy for that. Like
No.
right.
that's just we know we
It's
suck,
not supposed to be a takedown of the genre like Deadpool is, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The table meeting is, well, we know how stupid it is, but we're still going to spend
right.
$200 million
Right.
on it.
Right.
Dr. Schmutzy gets mad. He goes home and transforms into Mega Schmutz. He becomes like, I don't know,
Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron.
That's what I thought of. I was like,
I was trying to think of the guy from Marvel that's in the chair.
Like a villain?
Yeah, there's a villain. It's
There's
just a giant
villain
head
with
on
a giant
chair
head?
that floats around with little arms and legs. They did a Hulu series with Patton Oswalt was the voice of him.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, he's the head of AIM.
Wow.
This is guys. I am so sorry because it's right here in my brain.
I thought you were a Marvel fan.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh. Anyway,
guys, if there was only a source of information,
I know,
we
but
could.
He'll think of it later.
Don't
add it in.
Don't help me.
We'll be good.
This is really going to bug the crap out of me. I'm not going to be able to
You
concentrate.
got to
for
do
the
this
rest of
work
this
yourself.
episode.
We're not gonna
Yeah.
help
it's
you.
fine. Taika Waititi comes over, speaking American, at his house, and he's like,
Speaking American.
"Oh, you got to show me the suit. You got to show me everything, right? Like I know it's you.
Yeah.
Like, of course you know it's him.
Right.
Yeah.
Are we pretending that his secret identity is hidden behind his Zorro mask?
That's what I'm upset about too. Though is they call that out too in the
Yeah.
a little bit here.
Yeah. No, she makes fun of him for
I'm
it.
glad they did.
Yeah, but it's just
But yes, I know. I know. So yes,
first he calls out the Hot Wheels thing, and then the next scene they call out.
Well, and
the
then the
mask.
whole
It's like,
point, the only reason he comes over to his house is to say, "Oh, you're a superhero." Doesn't that mean you get the girl? Cut to the girl's house.
cut to the girl's
and his
house.
flying
Zooming in,
dude.
flies in.
He's like, let me just float.
But even when he saved the day at the party and he flies in and flies away, no one's reacting to the fact that
No.
there's a superhero.
No,
here.
they're just all
Right.
like again, happens every day. Oh, well, superhero here.
There's
Okay.
another one.
like one
Another
person had their phone.
There
out,
is. I was just
right?
gonna say,
Yeah.
there's just the one cutaway to the chick with the old LG, one
Yeah.
of the first smartphones.
got the
She's
wind
the
up.
only one that hadn't seen a superhero.
it's got a
before,
winder on it.
apparently. Just,
Yeah.
Got a winder to film.
Jeez.
It's like an old Ford.
It's an old camera. Yeah.
He drops in on her. I thought the cheekbones thing, you think I don't recognize it because you hid your cheekbones, is actually pretty funny, but it doesn't belong in the movie.
Yeah.
But he basically messes up with her again because they're having this little cute moment together, and then all that happens is she mentions the fact that he quits literally everything, and he
Flies away?
or no, this time she walks away because he's like, I quit being a Green Lantern, and she's like, you're ridiculous, you quit everything, and she storms off this time.
She
Well,
kind
and I
of.
was wondering what happened because it wasn't clear to me because they were having cutesy time on the airstrip there. He conjures up a nice little emerald necklace for her, and they're all like, ha, 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 ha.
I have a
And
theory.
then cut to the scene where they're going back in, and she's all pissed off at him. I'm like, what the hell did I miss?
Nothing.
I'll tell you what you missed.
All right, tell me.
All
what I
right.
missed.
Okay. This, guys, listen up. Don't do this. It's a dick move. He takes her and he's like, let me put you on top of this water tower where you can't get away from me. So you have to act nice. She doesn't storm off until he gets her back where she can actually storm off. It's like
Oh, that's
saying.
she's a
Oh.
captive.
Okay.
a little
Doing-
rapey, guys.
All right,
Doing-
fair enough.
Yeah.
Kind of a rape.
After she
vibe
was like,
there.
no at the bar.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, there's only a few scenes left at this point. So Amanda Waller and Tim
There's a
Robbins,
lot of scenes left that
bring-
happen in
short
just-
order. Yeah,
That-
but
boom,
yeah,
boom, boom,
this
boom.
is like such a short amount of time now where
Yeah.
you're like, why did we waste all this time?
right,
up to
we're
this
we're
point?
well over an hour.
And we didn't set any backstory in any of that time
Right.
either.
or really even a conflict.
no,
There's no stakes.
There's no
What,
Really.
the yellow stink cloud is coming, but
distinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
even at
Yeah.
this point, he's not coming yet because he's still just kind of sitting there when he realized, like, oh, I better get to Earth.
I kept forgetting about it until and I'd be like, wait, oh yeah, there's something
There's a stink
way far
cloud
away.
that's on its
How is that
way.
related to our story?
I don't know.
You know, the other thing about it, I don't know if you realize this is happening 6 months after the release of the stink cloud.
Oh, jeez.
There's a little subtitle right after the three.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's
right.
true.
the
yes,
doofy
that's
aliens
right.
release Parallax, and then there's like a little quick subtitle that says 6 months later. And it's like, oh, Parallax is still out there.
He's just chilling.
Yellow stink cloud
just
out there
consuming
eating up
planets.
and
Yep.
sucking the souls out of people. Just
And he's on his way to Earth now in the last hour. Not even.
that's because this magic ring found Ryan Reynolds, and he's like, got to get rid of him. He's the one that jailed me, put me in the lamp.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds, well, actually, sorry. Amanda Waller and Tim Robbins bring back Dr. Schmutz to the lab at this point because they want to say, like, we're going to help you. At this point, he's all deformed and messed up.
This is when that goiter has gone.
This is like
mega
out of
goiter at this
control.
He's gone full goiter.
He's like, she tries to tell him, she's got this test tube filled with yellow schmutz, right? She's like, we detected this other alien and we were able to carefully, expertly remove it into this vial and not get touched by it, even though
we used the same lab equipment you were using.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he goes crazy and he fights everybody. I thought that was actually a pretty decent sequence.
Yeah.
When he's literally just the taser guns shooting them back at the cops, right?
The classic taser guns that,
show electricity.
I love how when like people get tased in movies and then they're just completely incapacitated for the rest of the scene.
Yeah.
Not just once it's done, they can get back up
It's
again.
literally 3 seconds. Right. Like if you get tased, it's like your nervous system shuts down for 3 seconds.
Right. Long enough for you to get cuffed, and they weren't getting cuffed, so they could have got back up.
Yeah. I was impressed that the lab had flamethrowers and robots that had range of motion across the entire room.
The entire thing.
That was pretty impressive.
That was impressive.
Robot.
2011, yeah.
So
Well, they had, those robots exist, but like you wouldn't mount that kind of robot there.
No, not in that lab.
But Green Lantern just shows up. Now I know he's supposed to just. I don't know a lot about Green Lantern, but he just knows when things are happening.
Yeah, I think the ring goes off. The ring starts flashing, and he knows something's going on.
Was that ever shown in the movie?
They talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're like, you're just gonna know stuff, man. I don't know.
That's true.
He
though.
just shows up.
He just shows
That's
up.
what I mean with like the plotting of how there's a lot of scenes in a very short amount of time.
Right.
Yeah. Here's more evidence though of him not being a hero. The only time he ever shows up is when the main characters have a problem.
Right.
Like when she's in trouble or whatever. So it's like, bro, you're not going and helping anybody in the entire world when there's any problems.
You're not helping
You have this
You're not helping anybody else.
Sector of the galaxy. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, that
right?
Even like not just Earth, right? But he has a whole sector.
It's a whole
and it's like,
sector.
It's a pretty quiet
Cool.
town.
Yep.
It's small town.
Quiet out here.
Small galaxy.
Just
right?
a couple of jaywalkers.
Nobody locks their doors.
Like Mayberry
they leave their
sector?
purses out on in their cars. I mean, but they do, I think, allude to it because when he was doing his training, they said something about like, the transfer is whatever you'll know stuff you don't know, I think is what you said, right?
And your mask.
So they kind of allude to it, and then you see like a shot, like something's going on, his little ring's going off, but it's not clear.
His decoder ring started beeping or whatever. Yeah,
like his mood ring changes from blue to yellow or whatever.
Well, if it was that was true, it'd be yellow all the time because he's just scared constantly.
Because he's scared constantly.
What's funny is
mood ring.
After he has this pretty lame
Just
fight,
realize that the mood rings are actually the same thing of the movie, where like yellow's fear and green is whatever.
Will or whatever it is. Yeah.
He has this kind of lame fight with. I thought once Green Lantern shows up, that scene got worse. They fought each other.
It was
It was kind of short and lame.
Yeah.
He ends up just laying down next to each other, basically.
Yeah.
And what's funny is
Hector, like one of your French girls.
Hector touches his forehead. And then like rewinds and rewatches the whole first half of the movie, and he also kind of hates it.
Yeah. This guy blows, man.
That's basically what happened. And then Hal touches his forehead, and now he knows that the giant yellow stink cloud is coming.
Now he's aware of the stink cloud.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the way they learn the pertinent information.
Right.
These very struggled like.
Well, and then Hal just stuck the ring on his forehead. It was the ring.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah.
It's so stupid.
I was thinking to myself as I'm watching this, I'm like, what forces are holding these guys back right now?
I think it's supposed to be his telekinesis for Hal. I don't know what's holding Hector.
Maybe
That's
their
what I'm
lack
saying.
of will.
His lack
of willpower.
I don't know.
That's what it is.
Because
Lack of willpower.
Willpower is like that. I just
No motivation.
I couldn't get behind this. Like they're trying to do a yin and yang or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And like it's like willpower and fear, and I'm like, I just don't.
No, courage and fear are
That's
right.
the thing. It's like so these immortal aliens that have been around for billions of years have never heard of courage before. Apparently. They're like, no, if you got fear, man, then
New concept.
no, we just kill them.
Guys, that's the blue lantern.
Remember the scene? Remember that scene 5 minutes ago when she stormed off and was mad at him?
Yes.
Yeah, forget about that because the next
it's
scene
done.
she's back in his apartment giving him a pep talk.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, flamethrower time though. Tim Robbins
Oh, he gets he gets killed.
bites the.
We glossed over that, but I didn't really care that he died. That's probably why.
No, but that's like Hector Hammond's thing.
Baked.
Of like Hector Hammond has now killed his father to establish, what say like an Oscar-winning movie like Gladiator does a million times better.
Don't say Gladiator in the same sentence as Green Lantern. We're not doing that.
I mean, if you were going to do a comparison.
Jeez. All right. Well, it's time for the Rocky 3 speech, right? I mean, he's like, what do you want me to say? I'm afraid.
It's literally Rocky 3. It's literally Rocky 3. Like verbatim.
You want kids on my head? You want to break me down? I'm afraid.
What do you want me to say, Adrian? I'm afraid. Like, that was literally the scene.
How many retakes did they have to do? Because he kept saying Adrian in it, though.
He kept calling her Adrian.
Then another.
You gotta stop talking like Stallone, man. Right. Roll it back.
Ryan,
It's a speech from Rocky 3.
Let's try it again. That was good, but let's try it again not sounding like Stallone and not saying Adrian.
What I want you to do is tell her that you're afraid. And you're going to finally break down and say, you want to get inside my head. He's like, oh, the speech from Rocky 3. No, don't.
No,
don't
it's
do
different.
That.
It's different.
We're not on the beach.
We don't say Adrian.
And we don't say Adrian. All right.
It's different in the sense of Rocky 3 is actually good.
Also
That's
true.
The first difference, yeah.
The first difference is that Rocky 3 is actually good.
The next stupid thing is now the yellow stink cloud is on its way and it contacts telepathically. Yeah. It contacts Dr. Schmutz and says, the lantern is a threat. Eliminate him. And I'm like, you just ate all these other lanterns for breakfast. What are you worried about Hal Jordan for? He's done nothing.
Can't get there in time. I don't know.
You just destroyed all the best lanterns.
The stink cloud hit traffic out there. He hit a
Stink cloud's like GPS says the ETA is 15 minutes.
stink cloud was like, I hit this asteroid field out here. You got to do this, man. I'm not going to make it in time.
Send him in
Get rid of the
ways.
lantern. I'm going to eat the rest of the planet.
You do this for me real quick. I'm running late.
He sends the ways, like how far away you are, the ETA thing.
That would have been
That would have been dope.
Gosh. Sinestro, meanwhile,
But he is the descendant of the lantern that imprisoned Parallax. Or not the descendant, but the successor.
It's right. It's a revenge thing.
Yeah.
I get it, but how is he a threat?
I mean, once again, are you suggesting the writers?
I want some consistency.
Well, because I guess the
You're not
other
gonna get
rhubarb guy was like the lantern of all lanterns.
What if
If you
taken
listen
out
to
the phone?
Sinestro, that would have been awesome
was.
if that would have taken on the phone.
The rhubarb guy was the lantern of all lanterns.
All right, so Sinestro has built a yellow ring against all reason, but Hal returns just in time to pep talk the Guardians.
The Guardians did it. It cuts to like the one Guardian just
They're
like
in there forging and melting a ring, and
Right.
he's got that stupid look on his face, like he's watching porn for the first time, and he's like, "Look at the fear! Look at the yellow ring!
New achievement unlocked. Fear fetish.
Fear fetish."
What happens when they make the red one?
Oh gosh,
oh man,
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
that was probably one of the sequels.
That's what.
All right, so but I love how Hal shows up and he's literally starts lecturing these billion-year-old Guardians.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
Here's the triumphant, like I'm gonna rally them together.
That's right.
I'm gonna convince
I'm gonna
them.
come in and rally the Mars attacks aliens.
Humans might be young, but we're cool.
Look at me.
That should have just been the speech.
Yeah.
Humans might be young, but we're pretty cool.
That's right. But ultimately, they make him fight by himself because they couldn't afford any more CGI characters
No,
in the fight.
They had already spent
At all.
195
They
million
did.
at this point.
That was actually a fact. No, that like the they. That's what I kind of chalked stuff up to by the end of it. I was like, well, this is where they ran out of money. This is where they ran out of money.
Can someone get Hot Wheels in here for another sponsorship?
Basically, like,
Oh my gosh.
Warner Brothers. I think Warner Brothers had to reallocate an extra $9 million for VFX
Oh my
because they went over budget.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
He has to fight the yellow stink cloud. Now, nothing in this movie up to this point has led you to believe that Hal has a chance to do anything against the stink cloud. So,
No.
Who in dialogue, of course, not through anything that we have seen, but in dialogue has now decimated planets and consumed global populations to become part of him.
and
I actually
all of the
completely
best
Giant
lanterns.
Really?
Yeah.
stink
Yeah.
cloud.
I don't know how I missed that.
Oh, let me ask you guys this. You know when Hal's flying in to give the Guardians a lecture and he's flying over, are those supposed to be like tombstones for all the fallen lanterns?
I was wondering.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. It's like he flies.
Doesn't matter.
He flies over. I felt like that was like
I thought
a
the same
suggestive
thing. I'm
moment
like,
right.
of like Hal's flying over these Green Lantern cemetery of
yeah,
all the
right.
ones that have fallen.
Oh, jeez.
Man, those grave diggers must have been pissed.
Man. They're like, we haven't worked
We got
this.
another one?
We haven't worked this hard in centuries.
Someone get that
Man.
stink cloud.
So the final showdown starts when Hal goes into a hangar or a laboratory or something,
Oh gosh.
and his girlfriend
go.
Yeah, it was the hanger.
is floating in the air via telekinesis.
So at some point, Blake Lively got abducted.
Right, which we
Right.
don't
We
see.
don't
All right, fine.
They cut that scene
Fine.
Yeah.
He's also
Cost
got a syringe filled with the schmutz, the yellow schmutz,
He's got
Yeah.
a yellow schmutz
ready
now.
to go
Yeah,
into her
yellow
neck.
schmutz.
It's probably just his blood at this point.
And so he's like, if you come any closer, you do anything, I'm just gonna make her like me, and then
Zipper.
then she'll want to be with me because she'd never pick me when she could have you look at you and look at me.
But now I'm going to make her ugly.
That's right.
So I'm the
She can
only
have
other
a
ugly
goiter as big
guy.
as mine.
Right,
no,
because
no, our goiters are. We're
I'm
going to
pretty
touch
sure-
goiters.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure ugly
Goiter
women would
kiss.
still want Ryan Reynolds. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
but I think the point was to make Ryan Reynolds not want her though, because he says
Yeah.
that, right?
Right.
Because he's like, you're not going to want her once she's ugly.
Oh, that's true. You're right. He
She's
is
a no-go.
probably he's probably shallow.
Ironically, also a conflict in Deadpool.
Is it? Oh, that's right.
Well, because
you're
he's
right.
wor-
So
because he's
Deadpool
ugly as
stole
all.
him.
he's worried she won't want him. Right?
So
I mean-
Deadpool stole from Green Lantern then.
Yeah,
I guess so.
yeah,
All right.
guys.
Well, there you
yeah.
go.
Wow.
'Cause
I'm upset about that.
He's like mini
I'm not
goiter.
watching Deadpool anymore. It stole from Green Lantern.
The way that he ends up tricking him is he takes off his ring, turns back into regular Hal Jordan, and says, "You
Here,
can be
Jimmy."
like me.
Plain clothes, Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
You can
plain
be
clothes.
like me."
You can be like me.
And so Dr. Schmutz puts on
I
the
might
ring.
not be Michael Jordan, but you can still be like me.
That's right. And he starts shooting stuff with it like a little 10-year-old.
Yeah, it turns around and blows a hole in the wall.
Hey, it works.
It
Which,
works. It works, guys.
Yeah. Which was very convenient.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Turns and shoots it at Hal Jordan. It stops immediately right in front of him.
Must have hit that traffic that the stink cloud hit.
And he says something along the lines of, the ring has to choose you. You don't actually have control of it. I do.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, I lied. And then Hal's like, me too.
That was
Because I'm a horrible hero character.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't going to let the girl go, right? So
Yeah.
he goes, all right, now let her down. He's like, I lied.
Yeah. He turns around. He's like, I lied.
So did I too. So did I.
So did I.
Exactly.
Or, yeah, I
Riveting
lied
stuff,
too.
you guys. Absolutely
That's
riveting.
Great writing.
Awesome
The
dialogue.
showdown we waited the whole movie for, let me tell you. Incredible. Because
I couldn't believe how climactic it was.
was it
Because
climactic for you?
Very
Oh, oh
All
my.
right, I don't want to know.
extremely.
Quit looking at the yellow ring.
Precious.
4 seconds later,
X-Lax.
Dr. Schmutz is dead.
So here's the thing, because now the green bubble goes back at him and blasts him
Yeah,
through the
blasts him.
science machines.
Yeah.
Right.
And now within 4 seconds, Parallax's tentacles
Yep.
are
Here-
now
here comes
eclipsing the
Stink
windows
Cloud.
of the hangar.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so Parallax has now made it through Earth's atmosphere. and
Yep.
There's
Yep. Didn't burn
there's
up.
no
Didn't burn up on
Like-
entry,
He was
Right,
like 30 seconds too late.
yeah.
which is important.
Well, he's
Didn't burn
not-
up on entry.
Dr. Schmutz or Jimmy Neutron, whatever, he's not dead at that point, though.
no.
Because
No,
Parallax.
Parallax kills him.
Parallax
Yeah.
kills him, sucks his soul right out. Said,
I'm
you
just-
failed.
I was just getting at like, it's like, okay, well now Parallax is here.
Yeah.
But that was it. It wasn't like there was any build up to it.
no. He
Apart
just
from-
arrived. Just like
It's like, all right, well now Parallax
Yeah,
is here.
he's
All right, I
here.
can take over.
traffic cleared.
Yeah.
He got there.
Yep.
He shows up. He looks like the
Clears up.
giant monkey head you fight in Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Star Fox 64. That
Yeah.
wasn't. I mean,
Come on.
that was an awesome game.
It was great.
I love Star Fox, guys. I wish I had it.
Basically,
I don't.
what this thing is. It's this giant face in a cloud.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
ends up, I don't, what city that was?
Oh, hold
What
on.
city was
hold
that?
on.
What
Hold on.
city?
We're not there yet.
What are you talking about?
We're not there yet. Trust me. Just trust me. Let's keep going.
Well, what's next then? You tell me what's next. Because
now
I'm getting into the fight. They're going to fight each other.
That's what I mean. He kills Hector Hammond now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sucks
Well,
his
that's what
soul
he
out.
said, yeah.
Right.
He's
The
dead.
solo.
Hal is in plain clothes still, though.
Yes.
Right
Is
now. He's like,
Oh,
don't
right, because he
move.
doesn't have the
Yeah,
ring.
he tells Carol, don't move.
Oh, that's
She's like,
right.
I won't.
I won't.
He goes there.
She does
Parallax
move.
says, ha, You don't have the ring.
That's right.
Carol moves, missiles to the face. They tried to suck his soul out. But he got hit with the missiles.
I'll tell you, she got that mainframe up and running really quickly too.
Yeah.
It's like she's just like in this
It was in
huge
sleep
room.
mode. It was just in sleep mode. She just hit the button.
she just-
wake it back.
She's hitting it space bar, wiggle the mouse.
Pulls it out and is like, "Oh, this one," and boom, 4 heat seekers just
Yeah,
fly
right to
through
the
the hanger,
face.
right to the face.
In about 24 seconds
of the
flat.
stink cloud.
Yeah.
No, I'm assuming there's no pre-checks they have to do for those jets.
No.
None at all.
They wouldn't have them be like mandatory checks.
This
No.
is yet another movie
No
where we're
pre-checks.
firing missiles from jets that
right.
are on the ground.
He throws Parallax into the sun and he wins. Okay.
Wow,
Okay,
you really glossed over.
So okay, but
You
We
just,
can talk about it. It's fine.
I know.
That's about how much I enjoy it.
This was it, though, guys. This is it. Now,
Yeah.
are we all good on the hangar scene?
Yeah, we're good.
We're done with that.
Because now he's like, I got hit in the face with missiles. I'm
He's
just gonna
gotta
go
go
attack
up.
the city now.
Yeah, what some random city.
let me
Okay,
ignore the Green Lantern now.
guys, it's Coastal City, California,
It is?
which is the world that Hal Jordan exists in the comics.
Oh,
The fictional city of the Green Lantern universe is Coastal City,
Oh, so,
California.
all right. Well, I didn't know that.
You want to know how they reveal it?
They don't.
How?
You want to know how they
Because
reveal
I
it?
missed it. Yeah.
The school bus that the children are on.
Bro.
In
Said
a half a
Coastal.
second, I'm saying it's 12 frames long. It says Coastal City School District.
okay.
Wow,
All right.
Whatever.
riveting.
Even though it was,
Incredible
Okay.
job.
even though it was clearly like City Field or something that they flew over.
It's
but-
just also, it's the monster just sucking up bodies left and right, just
Yeah.
snatching
Yeah.
the souls out of people's bodies.
yeah, he wasn't even sucking them out. He just eating bodies at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally eating bodies.
Yeah,
it was
I'm like, anytime, Hal.
Yeah.
time
Show
now.
up. Is your ring glowing, Hal? Come on, let's go.
Ah, nothing yet.
That was the other thing. Where do they? So he like picks up Blake Lively. They leave the hangar.
Let's go really far away.
Now it's just like let's smash cut to city of Parallax eating bodies, and then like him and Blake Lively are just on like a terrace somewhere overlooking the city, and they're just like, I have to stop him. She's like, oh, but
I don't know.
you'll be killed, or whatever she says.
Yeah.
And she's
Whatever
and he's like-
trophy.
Yeah. And then he's like, dogfight.
This is
Maybe
what
I
I'm
could
saying.
outsmart him.
Those were jets.
Those were jets.
This is a stink cloud.
And he's like, unbeatable jets. And that's
Stink clouds don't stall out.
clearly
So
While people are just dying, they're having a chit chat.
another
Yeah.
chit chat.
Yeah, and they're just
Sorry.
talking about it.
okay, first of all the weapons he manifests in this fight,
dude.
are throughout the whole movie, he didn't manifest one thing that I was like, that actually is like
Genius.
a good
Nothing
thing
was
to do.
cool. He was the Emmett of the movie. Like,
He launched what? He launched the truck
He manifests spring coils
spring coils.
to
Yeah.
spring coil a tanker truck toward Parallax, and then manifests an anti-aircraft gun
Yep.
Yeah.
to shoot.
and that tank truck
The
wasn't
tanker.
even full of flammable liquid.
That would've been great.
It was like a milk
Turns
tanker.
out to be milk.
That'd be awesome.
But
You just made him stink worse.
yeah, oh man, now it's
Have some
spoiled.
curdled milk.
Oh, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, so instead of manifesting an ICBM launcher,
Right.
you manifest a spring with it.
Yeah.
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 I can manifest
And then
anything. I'm going to take this hardest
then
road possible.
Finally, the thing is just pressing down on him, and he's just basically got a shield up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And he's darkest night,
reciting
whatever.
the oath.
Yeah.
Blackest,
And then he just
darkest, blackest night.
like I don't know, how does he get out of that after he just
Willpower.
says the thing and it blasts him
Blasts
into
him
space.
back in the face. The
gives
monkey
him
head goes back into the stink cloud.
Morale
So then he
Tells
flies
the lady
up
run.
into space
Yes.
and he chases him into space.
This
cloud goes.
was hilarious. Where I was also like, "Well, this is amazing." It's been funny. We've been calling it Stink Cloud the whole time, but so Parallax can apparently have his head go through his ass as well.
Yes.
which
Right.
is
Exactly right.
great. I mean,
They go into space. He manifests two jet fighters, right?
so he goes from Earth. They go off of planet Earth. They pass Neptune
They get
within
stuck in
seconds.
Stuck in that
Go through the asteroid belt.
where Stink Cloud got stuck in traffic.
Apparently, though, now, of course, in this solar system, they go outside of the asteroid belt, but yet now they're closest to the sun.
Yeah.
Yes.
After they've passed.
Yeah, try and keep up, Brian. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Now they're
reasonable.
close to the sun. The sun's right next to the asteroid belt in Neptune.
They went past Neptune, but now
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Try and keep up with the science.
That's a good point.
Wait a
Why don't you
minute.
try
That's a
paying
really good
attention
point, Ryan.
to a science book at some point
They
in your
should've
life?
gone
You
the
would
other
know
way.
this, okay?
So, all right. So
Seriously.
now what you're saying is this movie is scientifically inaccurate?
No, it's scientifically accurate. That's what I'm saying. Why don't you crack open a science book?
So
See.
I did write down some notes on like timing for that.
Okay.
I want to hear them.
So Apollo 10 is the fastest manned spacecraft, and that traveled at 24,790 miles per hour. If you were riding in that, it would take you 156 days to reach the sun. The unmanned NASA New Horizon probe travels at 36,373 miles per hour. For that, it would take 106 days. And then if you were traveling at the speed of light, it takes like 8 minutes and 20 seconds. So for how fast he got to the sun, I'm like, is he able to travel at the speed of light?
Clearly.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and what
Faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
the other thing here,
That's insane.
NASA needs
This
to
is
get itself-
unbelievable.
Wait a minute. So he can travel faster than the speed of light, but then to escape the gravity of the sun, all he needs to do is manifest 2 F-35 fighter jets?
Yes.
Yeah, he can't get
all you
out
have
of
to
the sun's,
The sun's gravitational pull is too strong. You need at least 2 jets.
Yeah,
The other thing
right.
we learned here is NASA needs a green lantern. That's
right.
That's what you
Yeah.
need.
That's right.
Yeah.
NASA will get there in seconds.
He basically does an okey doke on this thing. It's coming towards the sun. Hal is posted up like he's
In a
Karl
rope-a-dope?
Malone. Okay. Yeah.
A rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
I said he okey doked him, not
Oh.
rope-a-doped him.
But it's like in a rope-a-dope.
No, an okey doke is different than a rope-a-dope.
Is it?
The rope-a-dope is where you get somebody to like tire themselves out because they're,
Oh,
beating
that's
on
right.
you and beating on you, and you're
Oh.
just letting them
You're
get
right.
tired.
I forgot.
Yes.
I forgot about Broken Arrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is
Yes.
riveting.
Guys, let's just
All right.
we're just gonna
I was
call
ready
it.
to move on. He's now made this into a 5-minute conversation by questioning what an okey doke is.
Let's just call it a Kansas
Okay.
City shuffle.
All right.
and go
He
for
Kansas
it.
City shuffles himself out
Love
of the
that
way.
movie.
The thing is coming towards the sun. He's like, whoop, psych, I'm going over here. And he ends up getting sucked into the sun. And Hal Jordan wins.
He
Yeah.
punches him with his fist that he manifests.
Yeah.
That's right.
Another fist.
Yeah.
This
His
worked on a
giant
couple
fist
of thugs one time.
This worked on
right.
3 guys in a back alley.
That had a legitimate beef with me.
I'm going to send your head back through your ass and into the sun with it.
He knocks his head through his ass and
Okay.
into the sun.
All right, we gotta get
Once
to the end of
again,
this
just
movie.
on paper, that's
What-
great.
what-
It literally is gold. And nope.
One question I did have,
All right.
though. I'm sorry.
We have to get to the end
Okay,
of
that's
this.
fine.
No, go ahead. What's your question?
I was just going to say, if the sun can kill this guy, which they said they couldn't kill him in the beginning,
Yeah.
why didn't the Immortals just do that in the first place? And why are they called the Immortals if he's an immortal and can get killed by the sun?
Well, I think you're an immortal unless you're killed, right?
Yes.
Like, I don't think,
So we're all immortal here.
Right. Yes.
No.
they won't die of natural causes.
All right.
Okay.
But as far as why they didn't have, do the sun trap before? Like set up
we
like a
never thought of
cardboard,
that
a
before.
cardboard lantern in front of a sun and be like, oh, here he is.
Here's the ring.
Come get it. And then it just falls
Psych.
over. Psych.
Right.
And they, like the Bugs Bunny
Yeah.
trap.
Yeah.
With the box and the stick.
Exactly.
Could have done it.
Just like that.
Yep.
All right. He gets the girl because, of course, he does. This
Just
is,
'cause he does.
You know,
She's 87
have
at this
to.
point
'Cause
because
he
he
does.
travels
Yeah.
too fast.
Right. I was just gonna say, now that we have movies that do time dilation and stuff, like Interstellar and even Lightyear,
Yeah.
they really delve into the physics of
is true.
time dilation and whatnot.
Hey, remember when he had a nephew? Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. The
That
end.
didn't matter.
All right.
Doesn't matter. That had nothing to do with the movie.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, we don't really care about that. We just need to get Hot Wheels in the picture.
It's just
So now they're having a ceremony on Oa, and they're all like, Green Lantern! And then he goes
Green
back.
Lantern.
Yeah.
The end.
All right,
And then
the end.
there's
Let's get to the awards because
pretty
we've.
pretentious to think.
But
we're gonna
wait.
get
But wait.
Oh, you're talking about the stinger because they thought they were getting a sequel?
a- yeah.
But wait. There's more.
Mid-credit sequence.
Mid credits, Sinestro takes the fear ring and turns yellow.
But it ultimately means nothing.
But it means
because
nothing.
there will never be another movie.
Nope.
No.
Certainly not with Mark Strong and Ryan Reynolds. So,
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to the next part of our show, which is the awards section. This is what we do. We give out awards. We give the flowers out that we can. Not all these awards are ones you'd like to win, but some of them are. And we start, as always, with the...
There he is.
The Will Patton Award for Intensity.
I love this.
And so this...
It's beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
I love it. It's amazing.
This is the standard.
So
okay?
amazing.
Will Patton always keeps it a 10 out of 10 on the intensity scale. No matter what movie he's in, no matter what part he's playing, he is doing it like it's the most serious thing that ever happened.
And doing it like a champ.
And doing it well.
Why this guy hasn't won an Oscar is...
It's a travesty.
It's beyond me. Cause
honestly, Academy, do better.
Yeah.
Okay?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Maybe do your job for once.
Maybe
Daniel Day-Lewis, 3 Oscars.
Maybe try doing your job.
I mean,
Will
they
Patton,
they hand them things out like they're candy.
Seriously.
I mean, come on.
This guy is in the Virginia High School Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right. The first award is the
Will Patton Award,
Will Patton Award for Intensity. So who you guys got? Who was the most intense actor? Who was giving it 10 out of 10 all four the entire time?
Peter Sarsgaard.
Peter Sarsgaard.
Good call.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I was between him and my choice of Mark Strong. I thought Mark Strong was.
Yeah, I
went
had
with
him
Mark
as a
Strong,
secondary.
too.
Yeah. It was like
Who'd you pick?
Mark Strong.
Yeah, Mark Strong. Yep. I also went with Mark Strong. I mean, just super intense through the entire movie.
So it's coming down to me?
Well, no, because we also have somebody playing from home.
Do we have a play at home?
We have a play at home.
We have a play at home contestant.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, though, Mark Strong.
Mark Strong is who you're going with.
Absolutely 10 out of 10. Mark Strong.
Well, he's going to win 3-2 because Adam Lofton is our Patreon member that is playing the awards section with us today. Right. And he went with Peter Sarsgaard. But he also said Mark Strong was a close second. So it seemed like a 2-horse race. Yeah. But ultimately, Mark Strong will win the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
Nice. 2-horse race. It really is.
Will.
I mean...
There weren't a lot of choices.
No, there weren't.
There was like
basically
5 people in this movie.
Basically Peter Sarsgaard and Mark Strong are your choices.
Yeah, for sure. Either one would have been a good choice. The next award is one you might not want to win. It's the Michael Dudikoff Trash Can Full of Dirt Award, named after Mr. Michael Dudikoff himself of American Ninja fame. This is the award we give out to the person who displayed the least amount of range.
Where's our trash can?
It's down here, so we get a wheelie cart for it. And nobody can see it. I promise it's literally right there. Yeah. Go ahead. Go put a chair under it.
Smash cut. Do a smash cut and post.
No, I'm going to make this whole thing
you
drag
just keep
out.
it in there, yeah.
All right. Okay, Ryan.
Yeah,
it's heavy.
Yeah.
Is it heavy?
Okay.
Are you all right there?
There you go. Is that in the shot now?
Perfect.
Should be in the shot now.
Careful now.
There we go.
Watch your sciatic nerve.
The production value of the show is unparalleled. Ta-da.
I think I pulled something.
There's our trash can.
You're supposed to lift with your legs.
All right.
Just my lower back and my groin. That's all.
It is literally filled with dirt, which is why it's
you don't need those.
It's really heavy.
Okay. Our Trash Can Full of Dirt Award nominees. Ryan Madela, who you got?
Okay, I know he was very intense. Mm-hmm. But I did say Mark Strong because because he was intense, but it made it just baseline because every time he was trying to like talk to the immortals and whatever, it was just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what it was. I didn't enjoy it at all.
Don't ever go to England.
I see.
You're going to be on a list.
Yeah.
Mark Strong is not to be trifled with.
I'm surprised he hasn't been knighted yet.
Huh?
Don't you dare disrespect Michael Dudikoff. The man is an American ninja, okay?
But no, I'm saying you're the one who's disrespecting.
I'm honoring him. He's got his own award.
Well, I'm trying to honor Mark Strong.
We're honoring Mark
Strong and Michael Dudikoff in the same sentence.
Listen,
sorry.
You asked me.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Right. So it's Mark Strong?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see your rationale.
I'm not saying he's a bad actor.
I see your rationale.
I'm just saying in this part, I didn't enjoy the part.
Because everything he's doing is of the same pitch.
Do you even understand how lanterns work? Okay, that man had a lot.
You got a diggle bob and you get a floopy doop. Okay. Yes, I understand.
He was
I heard
carrying
Jeffrey
the
Rush.
legacy of 1,000 lanterns. He was left to carry the bag.
You know what
after
he did?
Amun
You know
Ra
what he
was
did?
killed.
Do you want to know what he did?
What did he do?
He went all the way over to see X-Lax, and he's like, "Oh, y'all go fight. I'm just gonna shoot YOLO."
Yeah, because
and then
somebody
get out of there.
General Cornwallis wasn't on the front lines when he
Maybe he
was,
should have been.
Oh, you think the war would have been ended differently if he had been
Maybe
fighting?
it would have.
We'd all be speaking British now.
He goes in the trash can too.
If only.
General Cornwallis goes in the trash can.
Man,
That's it.
We got more trash
I
cans.
don't care.
You're going to need a bigger trash can.
All right, Ryan Mueller, who you got as the trash can full of
I
dirt?
think I'm
award
going
winner?
with more of a traditional choice here.
Not Mark Strong.
Not Mark Strong, no. I'm going with Jack Jordan, Nick Jandal, who offered absolutely exactly.
Wait.
Stand-in number two.
Exactly.
No. Are you talking about Mike, his brother?
Yeah. Did I get the wrong one?
Mike Doyle.
Oh, that was Mike Doyle. Yeah, the one where he said, "You just want to be like Dad and get killed." That one.
Yeah, he was bad.
Yeah, he's
Mike
That's the
Doyle.
one.
Is that
Yeah.
who you picked,
Guys,
Mike Doyle?
Mike Doyle. Straight
I'm going
up.
with the brother.
Because-
you just said it. You didn't even. Who was that? Exactly. You could have put a trash can full of dirt there, and it would have been fine.
Do you want to
Okay.
know what happened to me, guys? So
Tell
like
us.
they have the
I don't,
scene.
but tell me.
They have the scene in the kitchen. It's the scene in the kitchen with the brothers.
Yes.
And he's like, they're talking back and forth. He's like, "Oh, just like your motorcycle accident, the one that put you in the hospital for a month." I literally paused the movie and then thought about the scene, and all I saw was a trash can full of dirt with eyes and a mouth.
Exactly.
And I was like,
That's fair.
Yes,
that's the
trash
winner.
Can.
That's
Yes,
the
so I had
winner
wrong
right
one,
there.
So Mike
All right.
Doyle.
Mike Doyle.
I went with Tim Robbins.
That's fair.
Okay.
I was
Fair.
thinking about that. Yeah.
That's fair.
Now, I love Tim Robbins. Love the man. Okay, Nothing to Lose, one of my favorite comedies of all time. Shawshank Redemption, unmatched.
Also hilarious.
Also hilarious.
Very, very hilarious comedy.
Mystic
Yeah.
River.
It is hilarious.
Mystic River.
Funniest comedy
Classic.
ever
Very
made.
funny.
Mystic
Classic
River.
comedy right there.
Classic
Dead
comedy.
Man Walking.
Yeah.
With him and Sean
Oh,
Penn.
God, that was hilarious. I laughed, dude,
man.
especially the end.
I
Now,
don't think you guys know what comedies are.
but this was not it. But this was not it, Tim. Look, I got to tell you, Tim, this was not it.
No.
You were phoning it in hard, dude. Hardcore.
He admits it too.
I was
I'm sure he
okay.
does.
I was worried that I was going to get flack if I had him, and so I picked Mark Strong.
Oh.
And then I got raked over the coals over Mark Strong. So I'm just going to go with my gut next time.
Just go with your gut
Always,
next time.
always go
All
with the
And
gut.
that time you would have been right.
Tim
instead of
Robbins was
wrong.
up there for me.
I will say I didn't go with anybody below the top 5 cast because I started getting to these faces that I had no memory of. And I was like, they had 3 seconds in the film. I don't
Right.
think I can nominate them. But
No, those are the trash cans.
I know for next
So
time.
Adam
They always are.
Adam
are the
Lofton
trash cans.
Adam Lofton went with Ryan Reynolds as his trash can full of dirt.
Not a bad choice,
Says
though, guys.
110% wasn't believable at all. Second choice for him was Blake Lively. Anyone could have played her part, according to Adam, which means Mark Doyle, because the vote was split so many ways, will ultimately win
Mike
the
Doyle.
Michael
Mike.
Dudikoff Trash Can Full of Dirt Award. From one Mike to another.
Mike Doyle.
Mike Doyle.
As Jack
I will
Jordan.
say I don't think that Ryan Reynolds deserved the trash can in this because I think a lot of the what you saw in the film for him, it wasn't necessarily him phoning it in. It was he had nothing to work with.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just not set up for that.
That's
I
true.
thought.
It's true.
Yeah.
Sure.
Please join our show, Ryan Reynolds.
All right.
Call in.
Top 3 performers.
Yeah, if you're watching Ryan Reynolds.
Top 3
Our
performers?
top. Now, again, this is subjective, so it's not necessarily who you thought gave the best performances, but the top 3 performances that you enjoyed the most.
Oh,
Who's
no, that was
Okay.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's your top 3?
Taika Waititi, number 3. Peter Sarsgaard, number 2. And Mark Strong, number 1.
Taika Waititi, number 3, when he's talking all weird and American?
Yeah.
Hello, I am Taika Waititi.
Look,
Do you have any non-dairy creamer?
that's why I enjoyed Taika Waititi.
Y'all got some of that barbecue out there.
And seriously, not one scene that he was in ultimately needed to be in the movie. Not one.
I know that, but it did because it's Taika.
I thought this was subjective, James.
It was the most un-Taika
That's what I
performance.
thought. That's what I thought.
I don't think you understand what subjective means.
I don't think
I
you
might not.
I don't think you understand Taika Waititi.
All right. Before he ends up Taika Waititi'd all over the floor.
You gonna get a Taika Waititi face in here next?
Did you say your third? Who's your first pick?
Number one.
Mark Strong is number one for me.
Okay. He didn't make my list.
I believe it.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, well,
I believe it. He's the only one that sold
I'm this
it.
close to launching a flip flop at you.
110%. That guy showed up.
All right. Number one
you got flip. Oh, he does have
was
flip
his
flops on
brother.
today.
I'm just kidding. No, number one was Ryan Reynolds. Or no, number three. I'm sorry. I'm reading this backwards. Number three was Ryan Reynolds. Number two is Taika Waititi. And number one was Peter Sarsgaard. Yes. Those were my subjective.
Yes.
Who I thought.
He gave the
Look.
it was a non-performance.
Listen. This is supposed to be what I enjoyed.
Look,
It's what you enjoy, but it also should be right.
the character.
What? Okay, you're gonna get a boot to the face.
Get the trash can.
I'm wearing flip flops next time, James.
Yeah,
That's literally why I wear them.
We should
throw
have
down.
like our little Mr. Rogers thing out there. Put our sweater on and our flip flops, and then come in here.
It's got to be right. You know what, man?
Here's the thing about Taika. Because that particular character that he's playing is also an archetype. Like the left hand, the guy in a chair.
He was funny.
Whatever you want to talk about it.
Nate, what's the funniest line he said in the movie?
Okay.
I think
What's a line he said in the movie?
he was like green.
Green.
That was
Yeah.
pretty
Show
funny.
me, man. Show me.
All right,
Yeah.
Mueller, who you got as your top three?
So
Save
I've
us,
got
please.
Sarsgaard at 3,
Okay.
Lively at 2, Ryan Reynolds at 1.
All right, that's
okay.
respectable.
Oh, that's
enjoyed that.
okay.
I have the same three people, but in a different order.
We'll see.
So-
okay.
I had the right answer today.
I didn't know we were playing
Mueller is
teacher's
safe.
pet, Mueller.
Mueller's safe.
I had Ryan Reynolds
Hey,
at 3.
Look who also wore,
Oh, yeah,
right.
that's what I'm saying. He's like, oh, James.
I had Blake
Like
Lively.
me.
I had,
I have a Brett Favre jersey too. I got a Reggie
if
White
any of
jersey.
you want to step up and try and be the champ, then you can be the champ. But you got to get the strap from me, okay?
I got a Reggie White jersey, bro. Yeah, that's how far back it goes.
Oh, yeah, All American.
All right.
All right, who are your top three, James?
I had Ryan Reynolds at number 3. I had Blake Lively at number 2, and then I had Sarsgaard at number 1. Those were my
You
favorite.
guys liked Blake Lively in this?
She was the nicest to look at.
Well,
I don't know.
Okay.
But like, there's
I
like
thought this was performance.
Sure. Compared
that's
to
why
Peter
she was my
Sarsgaard
favorite
and-
performance. My second favorite performance.
Well, maybe you should pick the right people next time.
I'll try. Next time I'll try him.
I
Be
thought
more like
that
you.
Compared to
She was
fine.
very
She was
replaceable.
good.
If you want an out of left field top 3, let's look at what Adam Lofton said.
Let's check it
his
out, Adam.
here.
What do
He
you got,
said
Adam?
Hear it.
number 3, Michael Clark Duncan.
all right,
All right.
fine.
Number
fine.
2, we had Mark
He was
Strong.
the voice of Kilowog.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a
Okay.
good guy. Yeah. Okay.
Number 2 was Mark Strong, and number 1, the CGI team for those awesome looking suits.
I didn't even mention that Ryan Reynolds' head looked like he was floating half the time.
Because
Right?
No,
'Cause there
because
was
his
nothing-
neck skin overlaps
Yeah.
the collar line of the suit.
It was
It
weird.
does.
I mean,
Yeah.
they couldn't do anything about it in post, you know. Well, I mean,
Supposed
they
to be
did
able to.
because it was all post.
What the movie ultimately needed was
entire
Arnold
movie.
Schwarzenegger in it. I mean,
Yes.
let's be real here.
Do you think so?
Oh,
Yeah. You
think it would be better with him?
100%.
Is this movie a 10? Is it a 10 out of 10?
No.
Then Arnold makes it
Well-
better.
Then
you
That's
get
the
to prove
rule.
it.
Hold on,
That's the
I'm thinking.
rule.
It could be a
Is it 10 out of
5.6.
10?
Right.
It could be a 5.6 with Arnold. It'd still be bad. But my goodness, you put him in any part. Name
Any
a part.
Name a part.
He could be his best friend. He could be Taika's part.
He
Would
could
you
have played.
replace
good.
Blake with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen him in Titanic?
I have.
Okay.
Look at my booty, Jack.
Arnold could have been the stink cloud.
That's what he could have been. All of it had been Arnold's face.
That would have
Arnold's
been
face
interesting.
on the
Who
stink
would you
cloud.
pick, Ryan?
That's what
For
I.
Arnold?
Yeah.
I'm here to feast on your fear.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been really good.
Do it
actually.
now.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been
Great.
That would have been awesome.
His head being Arnold's head instead.
Yeah.
Of
Yes.
the,
Right.
yeah.
Hey, do you know the stink cloud was our man Clancy Brown?
It was Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Which
We celebrate him too.
he did fine.
He did.
Again, not his fault.
Nope. Not nobody's fault, really.
No. I mean, out of anybody,
Not nobody.
he really embodied what it
writers.
meant to be a giant yellow stink cloud.
Yeah.
He played the hell out of that.
It was like the
Yellowstone
worst
cloud.
villain in a comic book movie since the Galactus and the Fantastic Four movie where they fought a cloud.
Yeah, that was,
and
that was
one
also
too.
terrible too.
Also terrible.
But we don't even need to talk about that movie.
No, but so Arnold also could have been Hal Jordan if it had been made, not in 2011 when he was that age he was at the time, right?
He could have been Tim Robbins.
Could have easily been the senator. He was a politician.
Because he was a politician at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, thinkers and doers. You're a doer.
That's why I
I
like
hate
you.
my son. I love
That's
you.
why I look at
He
this
could have
guy
been
here.
Peter Sarsgaard's dad.
That's what I look. Hector, look at this guy here. Look at that. He's got a fantastic body. He looks great. He's a doer.
He's a dude.
He works out.
Get to my chopper. Let's go.
Got nice hair.
This would have been perfect.
That would have been actually 100%. So,
That would have been good.
All right.
so we're gonna go with Arnold. Could have played center.
All right, so ultimately,
He could
guys,
have
we
been
got
anywhere.
to land on something here. We have got to come to a final decision on Green Lantern. Is this a movie, a bad movie, full stop, with no qualifiers? Is it actually a good movie? Is everybody wrong? Or do you think it's a bad movie that's enjoyable, like a bad movie that rules, like the name of our podcast? Where do you guys land on Green Lantern?
It's a good movie.
That flip flop
kidding.
is coming up.
The first flip flop has flown in the new studio.
Joke. It's a bad movie. Full stop. The whole movie deserves to go in the trash can.
Sorry.
Wow.
This is a bad movie. I was joking. This is a completely bad movie.
The whole movie, all $200 million, goes
In that trash can.
Trash
On
can.
Right in that
fire,
trash
just
I
can.
light it
paused.
on
I
fire,
paused for
dump the
2
gas
seconds
in.
to see if you were going to say.
I was waiting to see your reaction.
And when I didn't get it, I let it fly. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
No, you don't.
I don't. All right. Where are you at on
All right.
this?
I'm going to have to maybe conjure up a Green Lantern shield here. There's flip flops going on. So
Hear me out.
hear me out. I'm about this close from a good movie.
What?
About this close.
Wow.
Seriously?
You know what does it for me?
What?
The total lack of a villain in this movie. There's no Batman and Robin in here trying to incarcerate a doctor trying to save his wife. There's no Alexander. I mean,
Objectively,
you can't get into the stink cloud because it was just there. They didn't do anything. Goiterhead wasn't doing it for me either. So just because of that, it's like not quite a good movie for me. Bad movie that rules. I'd watch it again. I was entertained.
I can get behind the bad movie that rules if you enjoyed it, but I don't think you can say it's close to a good movie.
That's the most toxic thing you've ever said on this
I'm
podcast.
sure it is. But
He's trying to make up for the whole teacher's pet thing.
I kind of like the movie.
James,
That's okay.
this was your first time.
It's a bad movie that rules.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
You think so?
These
But
people.
on the other side of that scale, like
It's almost-
objectively bad.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
saying it's good by any means, but
But I had fun watching
You just said it's this close to good.
This
yeah,
is that's-
enjoyable as a good movie. Like I'd watch it.
Enjoyable
over and
is
over.
fine, but you can't say it's this close to good
It's
and then be
that
like, but
close
it's
to
not
good.
nowhere near good, but it's this close to good.
Well, it's not like a good movie. Like
I know! You're the one who said it's this close.
It's this close to good from an enjoyability standpoint.
But that would just be bad movie that rules.
That's why I said it's a bad movie.
You know what
that
it is,
rules.
guys?
Oh,
I knew
I
it was
got
a
it.
mistake to convene the tribunal.
I got it. I know what it
Too
is.
much power in
Please
this room.
fix this.
Too
All right.
much power.
This is. It's a good movie that sucks.
What?
Breaking out the Clint
Please,
Bush.
please break this down.
It's a good movie that sucks. Everyone that showed up did their job. It's
No, they
no.
didn't.
No.
Fair.
Look,
For actors
the
wise,
visual effects.
They didn't.
The visual effects. They're very well rendered. They look
No, they're
cheesy.
not. They're all
no.
washed out and
They're well
terrible.
rendered.
So the computer did its job?
That they spent the money, right?
It doesn't even look like they spent $200 million. I'll let you finish.
You guys, the production designer of this movie, Grant Major, did Lord of the Rings. Nigella Dixon.
Yeah, so that turned out good. This
She did Lord of the Rings and Last Samurai, and you had
That doesn't matter. Their other movies doesn't matter.
no. I'm saying everyone in this movie that had something to do with this movie. The editor, Stuart Baird, is the editor of multiple James Bond movies and did U.S. Marshals. He's like everyone in this that did this movie, that put their hands on it, had so much professional credential behind them. And this movie just sucks. Like,
but then it's not good. It's not objective. Look,
I
Brett
think it's a
Favre won a
skilled
Super
film.
Bowl. He also threw 6 interceptions in a playoff game one time. So, like, just because they did something great before,
I think it's
doesn't mean that it matters for this game here.
I think it's a skilled film, as in
It's not even a skilled film. Not at a script level.
Not
how
on the script level. That's the only
not
thing.
how it was.
Greg Berlanti
rendered.
dropped the ball from the get-go. And actually, you know, Greg Berlanti was supposed to be the director, and this movie was in like development hell for 10 years.
It should have stayed in hell.
It should have.
It should have stayed directly in hell.
Look.
And that's where I'll see this movie if we ever are there one day.
So are you saying that it should be a good movie on paper?
On paper, everything about this should have been one of the greatest films of the summer.
That's something else.
And
yes, I agree with that.
Sucks.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
No, it's a bad movie, full stop.
Okay.
They're just trying to put me in an early grave, I think is what
Bad
this is.
movie, full stop. I remember seeing it in theaters and walking out at the end feeling so hopeless about life that I don't even remember what I did for the next few days.
Wow.
I don't know how else to end it any better than what he just said. So that's where we're going to leave you. Ultimately, next week, join us. We're going to be talking about Dude, Where's My Car? Okay? A movie
Might
that
say.
the acting should be a step up for what we just spent some time watching.
Mine's out in the parking lot. At least I still think it is.
I hope so.
On behalf of the Ribunal, Ryan Madela, Ryan Mueller, and Ryan Farrell, I'm James Hauser. Thank you for watching.